And we are live. Hello, everyone. This is a special early stream that was requested, and you could be watching from anywhere around the country or the world. And I appreciate every single one of you. And you could be watching from anywhere in the galaxy, coming to you from the spaceship studios, and also we have some interesting things to talk about, and I'll be playing the game and looking at articles as the stream goes on. Alright, so now I'll be switching over. Alright, hello everybody. This is a special early live, and the trial people requested, and because the stream is ending a little bit earlier, they want me to go live, so here I am, and I'll be playing the game and talking about the trials and stuff, and reading the different articles, get my take on things as time goes on. Alright, so now we're getting the game up. Okay. Let's see. And shout out to all of you, I appreciate everybody. Today, the trials are more on the East Coast, so they're not as prevalent like the ones in California are. And I'm here just us so far. Yeah. Hello, Moki. And yes, Moki was the one that requested it. And if it is just you, that is fine. I'm glad to do it for any of you. And we're going to see how this goes. And if the game wants to do something else, we could just go right into the other stuff. Alright. So, thank you, Moki. I appreciate this. I like this idea. And I'll also be doing one tonight at 7 Central for those that are interested. And okay, and Joyce did too. Okay, so I thought so. I just may have forgotten for a moment. All right, so basically, as I said, we'll be talking about the trial and also doing this game and also looking at the articles as well, interchangeably, about the trial. All right, so here we go. All right, we're gonna press play, and I'd ask that, hope that y'all are having a nice day, but we've been spending a lot of time together at the trial, so I already know how the day is going. So, it has been maybe about nearly over a year or 2 years since I've done a stream around this time. Alright, so today there was the doctor trial, and yeah, I know his name. His name's a little bit, I'm not too sure exactly how it's pronounced. It's something like that. That is the name of the individual. And yeah, so today it was an interesting day. There was, there obviously were more witnesses, and when I got up, I went, and as I said, I go on the phone and lurk for a little bit before I get to the other room. I can tag people with my phone. Although it takes a little bit more time, and I'm going to the computer anyway, and I don't really want to miss. Although I miss people sometimes, I want to miss as less people as possible. I woke up, and it seems that the defense attorney, he is very feisty. He looks like he looks like one of those characters that Jim Carrey played, the mustache. That's what he reminds me of. And he seems to get kind of rude with the witnesses and the experts. He gets, I think he doesn't have to act like that. He's acting like a Timu attorney. And I think basically and also the woman, sometimes I forget names of different things, so I may have forgotten the name of the lady on the stand. But if she was dealing with him today, and she was not putting up with his nonsense, she was not putting up with his nonsense, and she was very good. And chat was talking about how she felt that, okay, she's being put in a corner by him, and she was going to be assertive and strong, and I think that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. I think it's good for men and women to both be strong-willed people in spite of the adversities that are upon them, it's best not to be a weak person because you'd be a doormat. And she was not being a doormat. You know, in the different questions he was asking, he was being very rude, very rude. And she was, I think, very polite and respectful. But as I said, she was just not putting up with it. And there's the Patrick in the chat that was making kind of jokes about like the husband must be washing the dishes, and I'm sure we all would want to wash her dishes. She was a very cool lady, and then he seemed like he was saying that because he wanted to give Chad a laugh, and then you were saying about that he's scared of the strong women. So yeah, Chat, as I said, Chat was getting along a little bit more than usual, which is kind of a little bit different. It's like, what's going on here? It's because usually Chat is fighting. And usually, as I said, when the trials are on the West Coast, that's when the trials last longer, because the East Coast trials, and also probably the Central trials, end a little bit shorter than the ones on the West Coast. And yeah, so I think that she was a great witness, and she handled him well. Yeah, and I think with these trials, like yesterday I did a very late night live. So the live streams that I do are late night lives sometimes, and I'll have like a late night audience. And with the late night audience, there was Lauren there. She's on the West Coast, so it's a little bit earlier over there when it's later over here. And she was saying how, oh yeah, hello Jane, good to see you. You're welcome, Jane. You're welcome. And so we were, because we all have an opinion about if she's guilty or innocent, and we determined that, like, personally, in my opinion, it could go either, she may be guilty, she may be innocent, it could go either way, and I think that as the trial goes on, it's good to collect an opinion about it because it just started up. And as I said, sometimes the opinions are divided about it. And yeah, Jane, we're also in the Linda Starmer trial. We're talking about the attorney, about the Timu defense attorney, how he's very rude. And how the witness, she was not going to be putting up with it. She was not going to be putting up with that. And yeah, is she guilty or innocent? Some people, quite a few people in the chat seem to think that she is not, guilty. Like, some people don't think she did it. And I remember what Elaine said. If she did do it, she was, she needs an Oscar because the 911 calls the other day were very chilling. So yesterday there was these 911 calls, and you hear the wailing and moaning and the trauma. You could really hear it. So like, we know people in the trials that we watch, and they just don't have any emotion to them, and they're trying to fake it, but they do a bad job of it. Said if she's faking it, she's very good at it because she seems very convincing. And then there was the fire that they're talking about also, and they're getting this Timu notepad board they used in schools. Oh, I know, right? Yeah, I know, right, Jane? Also, they're hard to hear. Oh, yeah, Moki. Because we see a lot of messed up things. It's not like school or like, it is very out there. People get deleted. We hear these crazy calls. And yeah, they're in the game. There's a vote for their mods, so that's something interesting I just saw. Oh, you're welcome, Jane. Yeah, the calls were chilling, and and look, we're still human, and like, there's people that are, it's not like, real life is very harsh. It's not like school or something. It's something, people getting deleted, and we have to see these calls, and it could take an emotional toll on people. And yeah, I will say that I thought it was very hard to watch. Hello, Tina. Good to see you. Now, I will say, I did go live around this time during the snow, when it snowed here, and that was really fun with y'all. Yeah, so that time I did. But I have not done a computer live like this since way back then. You know, like a year or two ago. Alright, gonna put that in the triage. Scared. Scared. Alright, got new shoes for the pirate. Took some sapphires and things. Alright. Oh, that's so cool. I have purple shoes now. Okay. So... Oh, hello, Shell. Good to see you. Welcome. And I was seeing that LA City Council earlier over at Smoke and Scan, Shell. And the Irish stuff, that was funny. Alright. So... Also, shout out to Jane that's saying facts. Hey, all, be sure to like, subscribe, and share that notification button for the latest. It's free. Yeah, it is free. Thank you, Jane. Absolutely. You know, and I think that it is a traumatic thing to see. So, y'all, and we all are in agreement that it's very traumatic to see these trials. And to see the 911 call, yeah, very chilling. And I do not want to... I'm not making fun of anybody or do anything that... Yeah, funny, but a good funny. Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I'm saying that Damon was very funny, what he was saying. And I'm part Irish. And basically, I thought it was interesting to see. And I like to see the ladies dance. The Irish dancing. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I went there, and I was like... Just like right when it ended or something, I was gonna go see it, but I didn't get quite to it. But I saw the replay of it. Yeah, and also Moki says I watched a 48-hour episode on it. Hello, Amy. Welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We're talking about the trial today, and along with some other things. And also, we have an opinion here. We have Jane saying, for sure, you think the jury will give the Linda the big G for guilty. Well, you see, this is the thing about guilty or not. I think that she was... The jury's unpredictable now. You know, I think the jury is unpredictable. And we really just don't know for certain because what the jury's going to do. The jury has a habit of when we think something's guilty, they're going to say not guilty. Oh, I could tell. I could tell a show. Look very great, also, by the way. The Irish are some of the most attractive people. So yeah, shout out to Irish. Yeah, that's the thing I had with the jury, because because there's a trial recently. There's a trial recently that we're watching, Shell, and in our opinion, we thought it was clear that it was a guilty verdict. And the jury comes... Oh, yeah, I remember what it was. It was that time where we were talking about... It's this roommate. It's this roommate trial. And the woman admitted to it. Chad can correct me if I'm wrong. It happened in 2007, and they found new evidence about it. But then what happened was they automatically we're like it's gonna be guilty, but I remember the other day it was like the woman and women. Her name is Jade. Her name's Jade. Jade was saying that, well, do I think it's going to be a guilty or not guilty verdict? And I said, look, I don't know for sure. I think guilty, but we don't really know what the jury's going to think because they're unpredictable. Yeah, she admitted it. So, Shell, the lady admitted to it. And I think it was just so cringe where the jury says not guilty. And I'm just like, come on. I remember I'm like, okay, the jury's got this. And I want to add this, that the Timu defense attorney was very rude. It was a very, I'm glad that Blue is here, a loyal friend. Y'all are loyal friends too, but a loyal friend is here. So basically, the jury said not guilty, and the defense attorney was so rude. He was like, yes, yes, and he was acting a fool in the courtroom. He was acting a fool. He was acting not a fool, but he was acting a fool, screaming like a mule. He thought he ruled, but instead the entire chat thought he was cringe, and he was on a Timu binge. Okay, she admitted it in the party. Okay, thank you, Moki. Yeah, so we think that somebody's guilty, but it's not true. You like that? Yeah, so it's like, come on now, what are we doing? What are we doing here? It's like, you feel me? It's like, you have this woman confessing at a party that she's guilty, and the jury says, okay, that means not guilty. Ah. Yes, Shell, very good point. Yeah, defense attorneys do not want intelligent people on the jury. That is true. I may have said that wrong. The defense attorneys do not want intelligent people on the jury. You see, these people are floating in air. Look at this game. It looks like they're floating in air. Sheree, the greatest mod on the internet. Hello, Sheree. Good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. You see, Sheree in chat, the trial ended early, and Moki and Joyce requested that I do a live stream. And I remember Mary Toodles was in here briefly, and I was like, I'm going to be doing this live stream. I know it's going to do one at 7 p.m. Central, but we're going to be doing one now. You know, and she's like, all right, it's cool. So yeah, this is pretty awesome. We are too smart to be on a jury. That's true, Tina. That's true. Also, Jane said I read online there wasn't enough evidence enough receipts to convict NR. Ah, okay. I didn't know that. We're going to use some lead shot here. We got that dude good. Ha, we got the zombie good. Alright. And Moki said there was no physical evidence of Nicole's guilt. I can see why the jury went not guilty. Okay, okay. And maybe sometimes a confession isn't enough. I can understand that. And there just wasn't physical evidence for it. Okay, no, I understand. And a reasonable jury would do that. And now Super D's a friend of mine that I don't know if any of y'all know him, but he hosted a very late night streams, and on Fridays I have been doing the earlier streams, so he was not able to be with me. Uh, but he was when I went live until nearly 7 in the morning. He was there, and he basically, I haven't seen him in 4 months. A Royal Saber, I gotta get that one. Alright, so we're gonna go into this area. Oh, okay. A lieutenant. Let's see if I'll be able to get it in time. A dagger, or orangutan, a captain. Let's say buccaneer. I don't know if I want to give up these swords. Alright, and as I said, I'm still with y'all. That's a. Do we have that one? We have that one. We're going to put that one away. Take the Royal Sword. A Royal Saber. For an alien king. Supposedly, the two people she confessed to went to the police, but there was no record of it. Okay, so the evidence or the proof of it was just not enough there to convict her. But she probably still did it. If I was on the jury, I would have said guilty on Collins, Snowplow guy, and Nicole. Or yeah, right on. Oh yeah, okay. So there is the Snowplow trial. All right, and this dude. Okay, I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in self-defense. But if people are doing something goofy and trying to cause a problem to everybody, like say, like you're having a dispute with a neighbor, and yes, things can get heated. But if you're pulling out a pew pew and trying to shoot somebody, I think that it is wrong to shoot 6 times is not self-defense in my opinion. Maybe one time could disable a person, but yeah, I think it was out of spite. And as I said, now Alan, for instance, I think he disagrees. I think he thinks the jury got it right. As I said, I believe in self-defense and all, and people shouldn't be doing crazy stuff to threaten people. But yeah, I think that people got to chill out and not be so hot-tempered. Shell said, so yeah, and then the jury said not guilty with that one. Shell said, she lucky her roommate wasn't one of my family members because the safest place for her would be in jail. Facts. I'm the kind of person who likes to sit in the fence till I see all the receipts on a trial. Jane, that's the best thing to be, the way to be, because I think so. For instance, with the trial regarding with the trial that I'm talking about, that the new one with Linda, with LS, I think she could be guilty, maybe not, but I want to wait and see more as the trial goes on to make a decision. And it seems chilling. It seems like she may have not have done it. It depends. Jane said, well, I'm a Pisces like Alien. I think he thinks the same. Jane, I think the same. I know I just said I think the same, but I think the same. Oh, thank you, Sheree. Thank you. Moki said it's Snowplow. The victim was a tweaker, so that helped the defense. Yeah, DJ, what's going on here? This is the other one I gotta use, the other voodoo doll. Okay. And Amy says, Moki, I didn't know the tweaker part, but still the amount of time he was shot was exclusive. And also, you see, Miley Cyrus sign. She's so cool. Oh, Miley Cyrus. For instance, about Miley Cyrus, I loved watching Hannah Montana growing up. I think that it was a great show. You know, Hannah Montana, that's something I love watching. And yeah, Shell, okay, because if it looks like a tweaker, see, awesome. Cyrus, is there a trial? A trial Monday? I think there is a trial on Monday, but I don't really know for certain. But I think there should be a trial on Monday from last time I reckon. I think they said see us all on Monday. My girls watched Hannah Montana. Yeah, awesome, awesome. And then we have some. All right, my girl, and then yeah, I saw it on the buddies' TV. Okay, so yeah, I saw it on my buddy's TV. Hannah Montana, so awesome, and the Wizards of Waverly Place with Selena Gomez. Oh, I like that too. That was very nice. Also, I like that show. Wizards of Waverly Place. Hello, Silver Fox. Good to see you. And okay, so DJ, there's trials going on, and the trial chat wanted me to do a live stream because nobody's live right now, so everybody wanted to chill. So here we are. All right, and Tina, I think a half day for the doctor, no fire, and Monica until Tuesday. Okay, and Moki says I doubt the jury's mind the victim didn't start it. And Moki said, that's what he did testify because he looks like a tweaker. Okay, we read that. And you fell asleep this morning. Understood. Understood. My girls are around your age. I believe they 29 and 30. Okay. Okay, Shell. Yeah, they're of just a year or two, a year and 2 years older than me. That, a few years older than me. And hello, Eugene. Good to see you. Tina said, I think a half a day for the doctor, no fire, and Monica until Tuesday. And yes, great acting. Hi, Silver. Okay, I'm all caught up with everybody, I think. Yeah, so DJ, it's like, that's what we're doing. We're doing this late night live, and then now, oh, we're doing the daytime live because of the trials. And Sagittarius is Sheree. Okay, facts. Okay, I'm all caught up with everybody. Yeah, shout out to everybody. I'm glad that y'all are here for this special stream. How many days till a verdict reached in Linda S. trial? So I hope it's soon. I do not know, but maybe someone in the chat knows. Tina says, "Yeah, good to see you. Everybody's like chilling. All right, good to see everybody. All right." So with Monica Cementelli, there's a concern. There's a concern. So people think that. Oh, I stopped for a second. People think with Monica's trial, since the jury's taking a break for about a week or more, that's what I think the judge said a week, but it's Tuesday, so whenever that is. Yeah, alien sightings today. Yeah. Yeah, and basically, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Let's see. Yeah, then the game is telling me it's a triangle right now. All right. So, Alien, did you read about the remote viewers in the Ark of the Covenant? I saw that, Moki. I did read some of it. I didn't read the whole. I did read it. Yes, yes, I read about that, and we could go review that also. All right. So basically, we're going to see how many days till a verdict. I don't know when the verdict will be in that trial. All right, and also Tina, thank you, thank you for being here. All right, and Miranda says, "Hey, I'm here to just going through a ton of stress, holding on, holding on. Oh, I'm glad that you're holding on. I really appreciate that. So thank you for being here, Miranda, and prayers for you. All right, and everyone, happy. Oh, wrong weapon. All right, so basically, yeah. So the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark of the Covenant, I think is that's a very interesting topic for me as a religious man, and also it could talk about things in the end times also. Yes, Miranda, sometimes you have to turn the other cheek. Amen. And Jane says, was just looking out of the window to see if Mars is visible here in the UK, but nothing yet. Been taking pictures through my telescope. Laptop broke. It isn't fixable, so I can't work on music. So I'm so upset because I lost all my stuff. Oh, I hate when that happens. Yeah, Smokey, correct. Actually, I have the image saved. I have the article saved. I don't mind going and reviewing it. All right. All right. So we're gonna go to this other thing right here. I'll read it. Let's go here. All right. There's a problem with the stream. We're gonna have to turn the game off. Well, temporarily, I guess. Okay, here we go. Is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? Okay. See if it pulls. Does it pull through? Ah. Okay. I'll turn the game off for a second. Go here. All right. I'm back. So basically, we're switching over from the game to the Ark of the Covenant thing. And also, Mirandus is very good, guys. I'm on Steam's case. It's so cringy. DP for the mom and Steph Stearns. All right, understood. Jane, I hope you get to see Mars, and that's cool you're taking pictures with a telescope. All right, declassified. This is about the Ark of the Covenant. All right. Declassified CIA documents claim that the mystical Ark of the Covenant was located by a psychic decades ago in the Middle East as part of the intelligence agency's experimental secret projects in the 1980s. The Ark of the Covenant was thrust back in the spotlight as globe-orting archaeologist Indiana Jones attempted to uncover the artifact of Steven Spielberg's 1981 Oscar-winning Raiders of the Lost Ark. And Eugene and chat, something that I would suggest is I would suggest people get desktops because a laptop. See, my grandpa back when I was a kid, I had the Windows XP, but he wanted to get me a computer more suited for me. I did great with the Windows XP, but the Apple computers are usually more secure and they're more privacy oriented. They're less likely to get malware and stuff like that, allegedly. So, and also I'm into creative stuff and like not saying y'all aren't creative, but it's good. The Mac is very good for people that want to make music or make movies and stuff. It has a good software in it, in my opinion. So basically, with the Mac, when I was a kid, I got the Mac Mini, and I wondered why I didn't get the laptop. And he told me it was because if something happens to a laptop, you it'll completely break and you won't have a computer anymore. But if something happens to the keyboard or the mouse, you're fine. It could be replaceable. So that's why I think that it's even if it's a PC, I think the desktops are good to have a plan B. Also, Because a laptop, something happens to a laptop, it's all in one, all your eggs in one basket. And Moki says, I know the CIA has said remote viewing is real, but I have a hard time believing it. And then she says, weird, I see you sometimes, but not all the time. Absolutely, chat Cringe, yeah. Eugene, a wave of people have to restart their diet and weight journey. That's her for a while. Restart, we go. Can all do it. Oh, facts. You're welcome, Sheree. My grandpa's very good at computers, and he was the one that got me into them. And he had the Macintosh Performa. That was technically my first computer, but it was brain dead by the time I got it. It did not get wet, but it was in Katrina technically on a shelf. And the computers get old at the older ones, and their hard drives stop working. Now I figured out the thing to do is that in 2016 I had the do I ever sleep? Hello, Todd. I might, as an alien, we have different sleeping schedules. We sleep a little bit. We sleep eccentric hours and small hibernations, but I don't know, but not really, not completely, because I'm an alien robot. All right, so basically, a shout out to Todd. I'm glad he's here. All right, so basically, what happens is you have the situation where the way I could have fixed the computer, it's possible I could have put it in safe mode, because on the Mac keyboard, you have these buttons. You have the command button, and you press the two command buttons at once, it'll give you a prompt to a safe start. So I think that possibly could have worked to troubleshoot the issue, but what it could have needed was the hard drive was probably fried, but if you got another hard drive, put it in there, and reinstall Mac OS 7 or 6, whatever it was back then, or 5, I don't know which one it was, then you could just make a new computer out of it. Now, the information on the stuff would still be hypothetically salvageable. But remember, there is a big exodus that we have. We're trying to get the computer fixed, or how it would have worked. So it had a floppy disk and everything. Now, as I said, the floppy disks were random floppy disks. And I have one right here. Right here. As young as I am, I know about these things. So basically, right here, I'll show you. So we're still talking about the Ark of the Covenant, but I'm going on a little bit of a rant here. All right, so right here is a floppy disk for the Mac, the Macintosh, right there. For printing. People used to have to use this when they were going to print something. They used to use these floppy disks. It's like a program. And this is from... That's not true. The floppy disks weren't the problem. It was simply the situation with the... Alright. Gotcha. It sounds like a block, but you're never offensive. Also, Silver, okay, gotcha. That sounds like a block, and Todd, beloved SNS family member, Miranda, says allergy schedule and sleeping schedule's a bit off. And she said something, 26 to 30 years old, try to sleep, but you know. Facts, facts. Also, Alien Spaceship, yeah, I'd like to get a mini PC. Yeah, and also the Mac Minis just are not that they're not that expensive. The Macs can be expensive, but the Mac Minis are not the most expensive computers that they have. They're actually the cheapest one they have. Miranda said, "Jane, I would love to see one of your telescope pics. I can get my telescope to work. I shall try again." Facts. Okay, TY Todd. Yeah, reload the page. I'm back. Hello, Tom Farrell. Welcome. Yeah, the allergies are getting to me as well. All right, so that's a little bit back history about the computer. So with the Macintosh Performa, it would have to have a new hard drive, and then Mac OS 7 would have to be reinstalled into it. Also, starting it in safe mode would be better too. All right, so basically now I want to get back to topic and talk about this Ark of the Covenant thing. Declassified CIA documents claim that the mystic Ark of the Covenant was located. Hello, Spirit. Spirit, Spirit. It's been so long since I've seen you. I've been very blessed recently. So, basically, Spirit, Spirit I have not seen probably over a year. Super D I didn't see in a couple of months. So I am blessed to see Spirit, Spirit here in the chat. Amen. Amen. Hello, Stranded. Good to see you, Stranded. I am early. So basically, what I'm doing is I am doing good. I'm doing great. And the trial, it's like the soda, my friend. Yes, absolutely, Miranda. Amen. So, Stranded, I'm doing great. It's just the trial chat, the trial has been off because they ended earlier today. So what I'm doing now, they requested a live stream, so here's a live stream. All right. And we're talking about the trial case and also the Ark of the Covenant as well. All right. Here we go. So they're talking about the Ark of the Covenant. And the classified CIA documents claim that the mystical Ark of the Covenant was located by a psychic decades ago in the Middle East as part of one of the intelligence agency's experimental secret projects in the 1980s. The Ark of the Covenant was thrust back into the spotlight as a globe-burting archaeologist's Indiana Jones attempt to re-uncover the artifact of Steven Spielberg's 1981 Oscar-winning Raiders of the Lost Ark. According to the Jewish and Christian tradition, the gold-plated wooden chest housed the two tablets bearing the Ten Commandments, which God theology gave to Moses between 13th and 16th centuries BC. Moki said, the remote viewers said it's protected by beings. Interesting. Yeah, and so this Ark of the Covenant is where the Lord, according to Abrahamic religions, technically Islam also, because they say they're a part that succeeded Christianity. That's debatable, of course. People have different opinions about that. But basically, the Abrahamic religions, the Ark of the Covenant is a very historical thing, and it's where Moses put the tablets of the Ten Commandments. Yeah, angels. Yeah, so basically in the Ten Commandments, God had Moses have the ark built, and it says in Genesis and Exodus about how the ark would be built, how tall it would be, about the gold it would be casted in, and where the Lord would have his dwelling place. So that's where God dwelled. That was his presence. Like according to Christianity, we believe the Holy Spirit is within us physically, like it's portable. Back in that time, God dwelled within this gigantic, like, treasure chest thing, and if you touched it, you would be deleted. And there is a veil, a curtain in the temple that would separate between us and the Ark of the Covenant, God and man. And you would have the high priest, that would be the mediator between us and him. For instance, like Jesus was, when he was on trial by the priests and the Pharisees, the high priest that does the sacrifice, that sacrifices the lambs and the different animals for Passover, for the atonement of sins, he also, although it looks very shady what they did, he's had Jesus lay down and sacrifice, so to speak, and he was the priest that did it by his authority, even if he didn't realize it. Because that's how God had it set up all along according to Christianity. So in the Ark of the Covenant, the veil, the walls cracked and the veil tore in two. People can come to God directly without the priest going, to him. And also, I will say, is that the Ark, so that's some background with the Ark of the Covenant. And there's been dispute and debate throughout history what happened to the Ark of the Covenant. I think in Islam they believe that the angels took it up to heaven, but it's disputable if it's on earth or not still, where it is exactly. So it looks like the CIA had discovered the Ark of the Covenant in the Middle East using some sort of telepathy. Hello, Remy. Good to see you. Welcome. Alright. Want to make this right here, the crowning. Alright. So, hello, Remy. Good to see you. And we're talking about trials. And you could say your take on the trial if you'd like. And basically, we are talking now about the Ark of the Covenant was discovered by the CIA. And I believe in Islam it says that the Ark was taken into heaven, if I'm recalling correctly. And there's different theories about where this Ark of the Covenant is. And throughout history, it's disputable if they found it or not, or where it is. It's a mystery. Because what happened was there was the kingdom of Judah, and it was occupied by the Romans. Like when Jesus was there, it was occupied by the Romans. And eventually the Romans went and ransacked the place and stole everything. And they destroyed the temple as Jesus prophesied that the temple would be destroyed. And it was destroyed. And also, the Ark of the Covenant went missing. And it's disputable what happened to it. Miranda said, it's Todd, it's brought me peace and it's working wonders. I enjoy dissociating in healthy ways now. Facts. All right. The CIA conducted experiments as part of the secret project Sunstreak with individuals. Project Sunstreak, which individuals known as remote viewers, a type of clairvoyant who claimed. Okay, I'll read it again. The CIA conducted experiments as part of the secret project Sunstreak, individuals known as remote viewers, a type of clairvoyant who claimed they could project their consciousness to receive information about faraway objects. Faraway objects. Alright, so this could be some sort of astro projection. And Stranded says the Ark and the Grail are in the Vatican vault. Okay, Stranded, thank you. And basically, there's a sort of like telepathy here that they're talking about where you could project your conscience into somewhere else and get information. And as Moki said, it may be kind of difficult to believe this, and it's a type of pseudoscience. Yes, you are. Yeah, Remy Nass, the devil. Yes. Scared. And also with remote viewing, some people have claimed to have done it, and I do believe in the supernatural and the paranormal. So I think it's possible, but we'll have to wait and see. Yes, and like I believe that a lot of the aliens we see are from another dimension that are coming over to our side, for instance. I believe in the interdimensional theory. And I believe that this may be true. And also, Tom says about remote viewing, right? Moki says, "What's the Spear of Destiny?" That's something I'm going to have to look up. Oh, but oh, okay. Eugene says the spear they poke Jesus with. Okay, thank you. I did not know that it had a name. Thank you. There is no credible scientific evidence that remote viewing exists. It's generally seen as a pseudoscience. All right, so this is a document. I don't know how well this is be able to see it. We'll have to put alien spaceship over here. All right. All right, this is the document. All right, this is the document. Now, it says right here you could make it bigger. All right, here's the document. All right, so there you go. The intelligence source and methods involved. Project NHG. Yeah, right on, Todd. Tom, rather. You're right on. Okay. Yes, there you go. Remy Moki was the solution to the problem. Right. Season number, dates, and also Blue. I want to say hello to you, and I'm glad that you're here. Report 5 December 88. Starts 9:15. End 10:45. Identity 302. Yeah, shout out to Vash, the Great. Mission: access and describe the target identified by coordinates 78410. Viewer, see mission statement. Comments: training target 0209 in the Ark of the Covenant. Evaluation: excellent, safe contract, doing very well. The stage structure, viewer, and exhibits ability to allocate minimal wave, to be careful with the editing, though this does not seem to be the problem this time, just something doing for. And also, Miranda said that I like playing the game. It's relaxing. The same way with the pool rooms for her. Yeah, facts. Shout out to the pool rooms. In a remote viewing session on December 5, in 1988, remote viewer 32, number 32, was tasked with identifying the coveted Ark. According to the CIA documents recently circulating on social media, the documents were first declassified in August of 2000. They allegedly did not know the object they were being tasked to find. The psychic described the location of the in the Middle East that they claimed housed the object and said it was being protected by entities, says the CIA documents. Remy says anyone had a look at the classified Kennedy assassination docs, it was all redacted. Yeah, that's funny. Now, a lot of people have been looking at the JFK assassination documents, and they have some YouTubers talking about some interesting things in it. So, yeah, I've definitely have seen it, and other YouTubers reviewing it as well. And yeah, it's very juicy. But like what Steve Kerfuffle said, if they're really true or not, will we ever really get the true documents? We may never even really know. Yeah, Tom, that is another trial that's going on that we're talking about. And That one's quite wild. Yeah. So the entities that are protecting the Ark of the Covenant, allegedly, they are angels. That's what they are. In the Middle East. Oh, thank you, Miranda. Thank you for doing that for me. OMG, the ad. All right, quote, target is a container. This container has another container inside of it. The target is fashioned of wood, gold, and silver. I say gold and silver are precious metals, and both gold and silver are going up. Yesterday, silver was $35.35. It went down because there's when silver goes up or anything goes up, there's a correction that happens and it'll go down a little bit. And today it's 34.86, and gold is at 3,000 an ounce. So, and silver was $20 and $17 a year or two ago. Now it's up to nearly $35. So, yeah, gold and silver are precious metals. I believe in, that's true money. Although fiat currency has its own uses, and it's good to, if you had a bunch of silver coins, it's easier to have a dollar on you. But yeah, so the more they print the dollar, the less value it has. So I think gold and silver are good. And back in these biblical times, they used gold and silver to create the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, Miranda, thank you. Yeah, you got me playing on other devices. Scared. Remy says the Ark is allegedly in Ethiopia. Okay, Remy, thank you. And basically, in Ethiopia, for instance, they have a Bible that has everything in it. So there's different Bibles, and there's the King James Bible. There's 100 King James versions of the Bible, but the King James version has a good translation to it. It speaks in Old English. That's something good about it. There's a Catholic Bible, and there's a King James Catholic Bible where the Catholic Bible is in the King James translation, so you can understand the Old English. And then you have the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible. The Ethiopian Orthodox. Yeah, Blue, hilarious. So basically, with the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible, to give you all a little bit of an explanation, getting ahead of myself here. The Bible, there's certain books that were taken out of the Bible that they thought was not canonical. So the Bible we have. All right, Silver Fox, thank you. Now, Silver Fox, reload the page. Let's say reload. All right, so basically, and Remy says one of the oldest churches is in Ethiopia. That is true. So the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible is basically, has all the books in it, and it talks about the book of Enoch as a prophet, connected with Noah. They preceded him like his grandfather or something. And the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible has all the books in it. It talks about the monsters and like supernatural creatures, and it talks about the giants, the Nephilim from the Great Flood. So yeah, and thank you, Remy. She says that the oldest churches in the world is Ethiopia. So Ethiopia has a lot of very ancient Christian roots to it. Thank you, Remy, for that. So yeah, so shout out to Ethiopia, and also, or there's a Jewish friend of my family. He's a rabbi, and he was saying that the Ethiopians have very pure form of Judaism to them. They have very roots. They have. He was saying something like the people of Israel have true roots there, but the Ethiopians have like the truest roots of Judaism. So yeah, shout out to Ethiopians for that. Very good for them. Yeah, Remy, I do agree with you and Moki. I believe that those are operations that our nefarious Gooberman may have had had a hand in helping in, let's say. Yes, Remy and Moki, I'm in agreement. All right, and here is Spirit's message. Alien, what up? It is Spirit. Quick question. Do you have a P.O. box? I'm so glad to hear you're doing well. Hey, chat and HP everybody. Have a blessed day, Alien. We gotta catch up. TS, my friend, Spirit. Well, Spirit, I am glad to see you again. It has been a very long time, and I'm glad that you are here. And to answer your question, I currently do not have a P.O. box, but this could be arranged if you wanted to send me something, or anybody wants to send me something. I could get a P.O. box, though, up and running. And when I do that, I'll let everybody know. And Spirit, I want to say that the email I have, if you don't have it, it is in the description of the YouTube channel. But I will tell you the email I have, so you could send me an email if you'd like, for the information if you wanted to wonder about my P.O. box. I will get one and let you know about it. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for the update, Miranda. Hello, Five Cats. Yeah, and also, basically, so that's the email, because at the moment I do not have the P.O. box, but that's the email. You can send me an email, and I'll get you the information that you would like to know. Making sure that everything is good. Alien spaceship 333. All right. So yeah, the P.O. box, I do not currently have one at the moment, but as I said, you can email me and I'll give you information about that when I get that set up. So yes, I'll be getting one. All right. That's something that I should have done before, but it's what it is. Yeah, very cute pick, Five Cats. Yeah, we got lurkers. Scared. And also, Spirit, I have been doing well, Spirit. Or it's not Spirit, it might be Sprite. I get that. I always get sometimes the names mixed up. Okay, Sprite. I am doing good. I've been doing great with the YouTube channel, bringing different people here from different channels. And I hope that you are doing well. How are you? I hope that you're doing well too. Sprite, the P.O. box, I said, at the moment, I do not have one set up, but I'll get one set up, so keep an eye out for the information on that. And basically, also, I will say, that's my email, so email me when you can to catch up with me, and I'll give you the information that you'd like if you want to send me something. So, we'll give you that information, through the email also, because it's not set up at the moment. And if you want to catch up with me, that's the email, just as a reminder. And so Sprite, thank you so much for your message. I'm so glad to hear from you. It's been so long. I'm very blessed. I talked to Super D the other day, and I get to see you. So yeah, I'm blessed to have all of you here as well. Well, Moki, I think that when they abduct an Earthling, that's their pet. But to answer your question, I think that they do have pets. Remember, Moki, we were talking about alien lurkers, absolutely. So basically, Moki, remember how with Serpo, if it's allegedly true, they had some creatures on their planets, and also they had the other P things in vaults, like in their laboratory, those things in there. I think that's their pets. And also whatever alien critters that they have is also their pets as well. And yeah, besides humans. And Silver said something hilarious. Yes, Alien has a pet cat. I have a couple of pet cats. Oh, oh. Remy says I might have to email you a pic because there's a rumor that she's oogly. Yeah, Remy, I'll be looking forward to seeing that. I'm going to be blown away. Scared. Yeah, so yeah, that's the email. I'll go pin the email I have. All right, come on, aliens. Alienspaceship333 at gmail.com. Yeah, because I remember that time in chat. There was this a situation going on where Remy got into a heated argument with somebody, and then they were like wondering. So I believe it may have been if it was Kadeta maybe getting into a fight with a Remy, saying like, "Oh, I wonder what you look like because you don't even show your face." As I said, I love Kadeta. She's cool people. A great friend that I've been knowing for a long time. But I would disagree with her, and getting into insulting her personally like that. And Remy can be very feisty. She could get unhinged. If she does something wrong, that's not nice. But it doesn't mean we have to go and escalate things and make a big argument out of something. So yeah, that's what happened. It was a heated argument going on. But as I said, what I do is I'm not even taking sides. I want to make sure that people, even the sheeple, can get along. Maybe sit around a campfire and smoke a bong. I think that insulting people personally may be just wrong. Just go and insult what they're saying is the best thing. Like Woody. Where is Woody? Woody is saying he's not scared of the polices. And he's learning manners at manners school with his kids. And that is really a thing. Chilling out. I'm an alien with all my earthling pets in the chat. That's the bling. I put my face online because I may be a goofy alien. Oh, by the way, I was doing YouTube when I was a kid, by the way. I did it since I was a kid. Audio problems. Okay, audio problems. Alright. Y'all hold on a second. It might make a noise. Alright, hopefully that's better with the audio. And also, Solar Fox, reload the page. It might sound better because no one else is saying anything. So, alright, so maybe that's better. Okay. Alright, so Miranda says, Remy, people bully for their own reasons. Personally, you onto your wonderful, it too, with a heart. And I understand people always say things. Thanks, Alien, for the clarification. You're welcome. Hello, Budro. Good to see you. And then you have Miranda saying, "Oh yeah, bullying is huge online. Instagram's hard time for me interact with. It's a lot of bots bullying." Fact. Shout out to you, Budro. Yeah, Moki. As I said, when I was a kid, I did YouTube. I found my old YouTube video that I did. I have to re-upload it. And I was a little boy with my curly hair, my glasses, my microphone. I was like, as I said, they have some nutty things going on, but by the Lord's grace, by his divine blessing, nothing ever happened. And I had a very strong helicopter mom. All right, so yeah, everything's fine on the alien spaceship's end. All right, Budro, understood. Understood. Yeah, you know, they're like two cats. You know what, Moki? They act like two possums. Sometimes there's possum warfare, and with possum warfare, you'll have the possum, the waddle, and they go and chase each other like in slow motion. That's basically what they are. Like you can feel it's very intense, but they're just like possums, like slowly running around. Well, they could be pretty quick, but it's like they waddle like penguins and they chase each other. Tom says people do a lot of projecting when they get like that. That way. Yeah, exactly. 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 Very insecure, Remy. Exactly. Yeah, happy travels to the other ones. Moki says bit of a helicopter mom. Yeah, yeah, my mom's like that. And also my grandparents too. Five cats. My possum. Okay, there is a North American possum. So they either came here at some point or they were always native here. So it's the North American possums. And we're gonna go do a little derail. We're gonna derail a little bit. We're still talking the Ark of the Covenant, but we're gonna derail for a moment. All right, Eugene. Thank you for coming. Peace. All right, it's called the Virginia possum. All right, it's called the Virginia possum. Though opossum is sometimes shortened to possum, the North America, with two words, often being used simultaneously. This is technically a misnomer. The proper name for the scaly-tailed creature with a pointed head that may be barreling its teeth is opossum, but it's pronounced possum. All right, here's the question of the hour. Are American possums and Australian possums the same thing? Other than being marsupials, scared. The Australian brush-tailed possum and North American opossum are very different animals. Hey, Matt, Mister. I'm glad to see you here. Possums are the only marsupial in North America. Thank you for the fun fact. All right, they are not even the same species. So the Australian possum and the North American possums are not the same animal. They are not even the same species. Genus, subfamily, family, order of the specific classification perspective. In units brings out the creeps, but yeah, they try every day, and I love to ignore. The weather's really nice here, but I figured I'd stop by and say howdy for a few. Well, thank you, Matt. I'm so glad that you came to tell us hello. This is the other possum. Tasman. Hello, bro. Good to see you. Now, Tasman is a friend of mine from Smoke and Scan, and also from the trial chat. And he's a friend of mine, so if he has any, if he gets, let's just say, wild, I will tell him something. So I'll deal with him. He's a cool dude. He's a good chat friend. So he's a good friend of ours. All right, this is the possum from Australia. A completely different animal than the ones that we see in the Americas. Right. All right, so Five Cats. I know him from a channel called Smoke and Scan. I'd recommend it. He does chases, and he does different things with covering riots and all kinds of coverage like that. And he goes live on Tuesday and Friday. Yes, it's called Smoke and Scan. He likes to. He's in California. He smokes weed, which is okay, and he talks about cannabis. And he has his cat, black and white cat named Stinks. He shows. And yeah, I highly recommend his channel. He's the first streamer that I saw on YouTube, so I highly recommend him. No, it's called Smoke and Scan. All right, so these are the possums from Australia. Now, I think that the American possums are cute too, but they can be kind of scary, and they can look kind of like rats. But I do think the American possums are cute too, but it would be nice to have these also. Yeah, and of course with Smoke and Scan, it's not all that you do not have to smoke weed. I don't smoke any weed, and I don't drink anything. I don't smoke or drink anything. And I watch Smoke and Scan. I saw him during the riots of 2020. And also, Miranda, is the disclaimer from Miranda, is that Smoke and Scan is rated mature audience, so adults only. So yeah, it's not something for kids. It's for adults only. It's a mature audience. We love Smoke and Scan crime in LA. While you smoke or drink or don't, it's whatever. Miranda, you know what one night I did? I was on the bench in my yard and I was chatting with you and I was eating some spicy pickles. So you can eat spicy pickles too. Yeah, Five Cats, awesome. Facts. Okay, technically with the possums, they're wild animals, but they hypothetically, like the baby possums, hypothetically could be petted. Hypothetically, I would not recommend this unless you're a professional. I'm not even a professional, but if you had like a baby possum, you could hypothetically touch it. But you could touch a. They're kind of like wild animals, but if there are people that are able to pet possums, and there are people that pet possums that have them as pets, or they're good with wildlife and stuff, and they're able to pet possums and raccoons. I have not tried that, and I do not recommend it because it's a feral animal. But I would say if someone got a baby possum and petted it, I think that would be more possible. But I do not recommend it unless they're a professional. But there are people that have pet possums and do pet the possums, and there are people that have pet raccoons too. So it all just depends. I'm making sure I stay hydrated, by the way. Thank you, Stranded. Miranda and Remy, something that I want y'all to know. You were cornered by a raccoon in a dock in Orlando. Scared? Yeah, they are scary. Yeah, but I like them because I like scary things. And they are kind of cute. But yeah, I understand what you... I remember when, Remy, you first saw that, you were like, what on the bloody hell is that thing? This is Smokin' Scan's channel. Oh, that's not... That's the description. Hello, everybody. Hello, Kathy Smith. Good to see you. Come on. Okay, so, Kathy, what these things are is the Australian brush-tail possum. It's the brush-tail possum. And because there's a debate about if these possums are related to the other possums that we have in North America, but no, they're not related and they're not the same animal or species. They're different types. So these possums are the Australian possum, but it's a different type of possum than the one that we have here. Sprite, understood. It's okay. You could come. You could make a email me, or if you want to later, or wherever you want to. Which you will email me, but or if you want to comment on a video too, that's fine. Whatever you like to do, but basically, Sprite, it's okay. But thank you for explaining that to me, and maybe not the best time. It's okay though. And also, yeah, shout out to Amanda that's not here right now, but I'll relay the message. And also, all the chat. Thank you, Sprite. And I'm glad that you came here to tell us hello. All right, so that's another picture of the possum in the tree. And Miss Strain, it says, when I was a kid, I saw a raccoon that I thought was a cat, but then it chased me around like a rat. And the raccoon said nope and chased me down the street. Scared. Oh, okay, so a shout to Moki with the pizza. I didn't know that. Okay, a shout to you, Moki. Enjoy your pizza. You were a young athlete. Yeah, so that's another picture of it. Very cute. And, okay, so Miranda and Remy. I have dealt with trolls all over YouTube. And also with the live streams. With the live streams that I do, I have seen so many people Like, especially the phone lives. So people that will troll me and they're jealous of my beautiful looks and they'll just spam it and spam it. They have nothing to do in their basement. They're waiting for the chicken nuggets that their mom's telling them to come out from the basement and eat. But they go and on the internet and troll and say, haha, reet. And they say re. But then they have to wait and look and see because I do not tolerate them. I ignore them and sometimes I've roasted them even. A dark confession, I must say. I put them on the pavement. That's where they could lay. And you know what? Hello, Shell, again. Good to see you. Because you have a problem with the trolls saying all these stupid things. And they don't know what they're saying. They are completely hideous. They are ogres, I have to say. They even make Shrek blush. When I deal with the trolls in the chat, I have to say, shh, hush. They could go back to China. China. They could go over there. I think that they didn't realize I can maul like a grizzly bear, but I don't appear so. I act calm and then I attack. And I see all the trolls running back, eating their chicken nuggets, stuffing their face. With all their saggy, ST-ridden selves. And then that is it. And the trolls can sit in the basement all by themselves, and they cannot get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. No one wants them. When they couldn't get a girl, they tried to talk to men. The gay men didn't like them. And they realized that they were -10. I think I'm a knight. Knights of Ren. Trolls are 500 pounds. Lithian guys in their basement. In their degenerate communist country. That is a truth and facts. Send them all the way to Chirac. I'm not playing. Possums are aliens, Liza Jean, and it's great to see you, Liza Jean. I'm glad that you are in chat. And hello, Gloria. Good to see you. Hello, Dwayne and Sharon. I'm glad that y'all are here. I'm so excited. I'm going to shout and cheer. Yay. Oh no, the 500-pound troll broke through his floor. Oh dear. All their Temu trolls get destroyed by the Temu ninjas. And the Temu alchemist, the Temu edgy alchemist did a spell and destroy them and get them all well. Five Cats says, Alien has such a soothing voice. I can't deal with the theoretical screamers or streamers. The theatrical screamers. All of them are just a bunch of beamers. Call them Bemis. Call them Bemis and Butthead are screamers. I am chill as a Gulf breeze. I'm sitting here grating cheese. Friday night shesh at Hansel's. That is a fact. Friday night shesh at Hansel's. That is a fact. And then we're going to go back and chill with the crawfish and eat the greatest food on earth. And that is that. I'm making the chat laugh. I am so goofy. Hoi. Call me a Disney character and a Looney Tune too. I tamed all the unhinged women all over YouTube. Taming of the Shrew. Oh, look at Troll, you got a blow-up doll. Look at you. Broke as a piece of shit. the trolls see me in person, they would say, scared. The alien is dropping beats, styling and profiling, and also I'm doing this and high-fiving. Yes, the Temu trolls have a diet, although I eat all kinds of things. They eat a bunch of Temu gummies that were all expired, past their expiration date. I think that we're just going to call them Tate of 8. And all they eat is old gummies that are expired from Temu. And you guessed it, they're also a bunch of dummies. Scared. I hated that scaries in high school, laughing my ass off. Oh look, it's Wojak in his basement trolling me. That didn't never realize that I'm an alien, and I'm gonna go off. Calmly and slowly. And then they're Humpty Dumpty jumping off, and then they get crushed. All they are is a bunch of mush. OMG, he's spitting a bar. Oh look, I catapulted and it went very far. Next topic, alien. Next topic, alien, going off track. It is me and Vash defeating knives. That is a fact. I say scared? And Vash was scared, but he was not scared. Vash was the only one that was prepared. Vash was being chased by two overweight, saggy trolls that had mold all over them. And these two mindless airhead ladies said, "Where is Vash? Where is he?" Vash was like, "It's not me." And guess what? He roasted them, and he had defeated everybody, and then just chilled and drank the high C. There you go, Blue. That is your next subject. And then it's look at this possum. He is shocked at all the ugly Temu trolls that he's witnessing. I would be too. And that is the truth. Sending CPR to Miranda. She definitely needs to be hugged by a cute Temu panda. And shout out to Woodrow in the chat being cool. Chat is laughing. And shout out to Wayne, Dwayne, and Sharon. I'm glad that they're in chat. And I guess I had to go to that place to get to this one. And I am glad for that. You guys hurting the tummy, making me laugh. Ha 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 ha. Gave her too much Laffy Taffy. Acting all happy. I'm dropping bars. I guess I'm getting trappy. Have a great weekend to those that are leaving. I salute you. At you, God bless you. You see what I did there? That was clever. Take care, Tom. Take care to you. I am glad you found your voice during the daytime, too. I'm not talking like a vampire putting people under a spell. I'm disguising and acting more human. A vampire alien can act. Daytime, I have... I'm acting all charged up like a freight train. Revolutions are the freight trains of history. And the locomotives of history, I might add, too. It's when the spirit moves. The spirit's moving me all over the place, rocking back and forth. It's a disco party. Holy Spirit, shout out to him. And it's holy moly. The trolls just got roasted in hellfire. And I guess right now it's all holy. Through the fire of affliction, we are cured and purified. Iron sharpens iron. And that is great. We all are a bunch of iron. And we could all become a tire iron and fix all the broken cars and race fast, because we all are talking fast like race cars in the chat. Northumberland, the Scottish border. I have ancestry up there. That is great. It's a beautiful landscape. It's where I would like to go and eat some cake. Bee cake specifically. Cubans know how to fix cars. They do not need all the computers and technology that we have. And that is the truth. It speeds and goes far. They have vintage cars. Call it a vintage nation. Communism may have been a con, but a pro is nostalgia. And that is a true thing, and shout out to all of you. Alien chill. How about this, Blue? Alien chili for all of chat. All of my earthling pets can have that. I'm gonna chili. Oh no, look. Catapult, Blue, look out, it's Free Willy. Cars that were built to last. Not the Temu cars that we have now. The old ones were a blast. Built like a tank. Oh no, Blue, I just picked on you. I call that a prank. Right now, the engines are rolling in the Titanic. Now it's called a crank. Hello, governor. Tea for you, governor. Scared. Alien chili is spicy, and that's how we like it. Atomic ghost peppers. For all of chat, along with Thailand peppers. And that is that. Blue said, I mean that you're on a roll, don't crash. I do not have to worry because on my spaceship there is Vash. I got all the alien cash. I even had a bank and lent money to all of the Earthling friends. And I then spread all over YouTube and went to this channel, that channel, and made a click of alien spiderweb. And made everything great again. Shout out to that. Everybody was like, the stock market will go back up soon. It will, I guarantee. Silver and gold are skyrocketing, like the Ark of the Covenant was made out of gold and silver, and that is a true thing. And I have to go and shout and sing. I might look up on things on Google, not Bing. Bing has a lot of images. I guess I have to go look up online and start to sing. And there you go. Oh look, is that Temu Troll or Elmo? Oh, I broke everybody's funny bone. You gotta sue me for a new Temu elbow. Don't worry, Boudreaux. She'll keep it chill. Maybe take it with a grain of salt. In a moment, Remy could go unhinge and start the bolt. Like lightning. Oh, look, I'm flying. I call that kiting. Kiting. Bing is still a thing. And when you search, you might even hear a sound. That's the ding. Even though I got a lot of Temu serious diamond rings. What is that? It's a troll. Oh no, a horrid thing. Scared. Alien knows me so well. Yes, that's true, and that is swell. I showed up today. Call that show and tell. Liza Jean says, is this a rap battle for one? It could be 1 in a million. I'm all up for it. It sounds fun. Yeah, no, it's like if you get me on a roll, I'll start dropping bars to Kingdom Come. I'm glad I'm here with chat. I'm having a lot of fun. John Dunn and Dunn undone. That's fun. Oh, look at me. Something shooting. It's not a fun. It is just me with an alien blaster. Dropping even bars even faster. I am much calmer these days, so we can confirm that we're in the eye of the storm of the Hurricane Remy. I love Celts. I'm a Celt too. I'm related to the Scottish, Irish, and Welsh. And that is a great common ancestry that we all share. That some of us share. And that's great. We all care. In Liza Jean, the people like Merlin and King Arthur that bravely fought for their country and their nation. My brother plays the pipes. Well, right now you're hearing mine. I'm steaming the pipes. Boudreaux said, oh no, I'm still over the road and I can't read what was said. I just heard Alien dropping beats. And that is true. Nothing else said. Silver says, but now you mention T, Tasman, I'm going to make one. Only when he needs to talk about space does he consult me. That is true. I trust the OGs, and they are the plants. The Timu trolls got me lost in space. They just can't. River Dance is back in theaters for its anniversary. It's about time. If they wouldn't have done that, Remy, I would have called that perjury. And we do not know what the F you're talking about, Alien. That is something nice to say. A very intelligent comment, Silver. And I think that you could pat yourself in the back, because right now you have the piper to pay. I'm dropping random bars because that's what people like to hear. And if you have anything else intelligent to say, I'm all ears. In the Caribbean where you come from, Mon, Jamaica, Mon, I like that fun party. Do it sometime at the beach. And that is great, Mon. I'm just talking about random bars and dropping facts. And I hope you have fun, and that's that. And so basically I go off on a tangent and start dropping a lot of bars. That's what I was doing. It just goes random rhymes over and over again, Silver. That's what I'm doing. Wayne says, Alien. Sharon says, bye, young man. We're heading out to dinner now, 7 p.m. Eastern. She's going to bop me up on the head for watching Michigan Saint basketball team on the table. Yes, and that sounds cool, and that's a fable. Watching me is better than watching cable. Blue, time for the bars need more to see than hear. I think that my reality stabs like a spear. I may have offended some of the haters, Drop a tear. Silver says, you need some oil down on the beach. That is true. I look forward to that. Timu oil is what I will put on myself, and then I preach. And what kind of food, Dwayne? I always wondered where he's going, where he's eating out. Dropping some bars on tariffs for Canada. All right, here we go. So we have the country of America feeling that it is going to go back and forth, and all these countries taking advantage of the United States allegedly. And then the orange man gets in and says, hey, our country's getting taken advantage of. He said that's a sin. And then he puts sanctions, and he puts, rather, the tariffs on Canada, not CARIFTA. And basically with Canada's getting tariffs. And I think that they need to go contact Alien Eric. So Canada's getting tariffed, and China is too, all over the world, making things more expensive. The American economy and stock market went down, and silver and gold is going up. And everybody says, what the F is going up? Nothing. Everything's going down. The tariffs are going up on the products. Everything's getting more expensive everywhere. What do we have to prove? Did we go and roast Claire or a bear? Liza Jean made something very clear about why Canada is maybe going downhill. China bought Canada. China is taking over the Canadians. I think that it's time to go and rave and have a revolution of independence. And that is great to see, because you do not need to be dependent and getting tariffed by Temu tariffs. Thanks for the great show. See you soon. I love Greek food. Absolutely. Harper sold Canada to China, and he's a Temu troll in his basement. I think he needs to go and look out. He might trip and fall on the pavement. I told Alien I was from the land of grenades and raves. I don't know where he got Jamaica from. You got to understand, Silver, I'm a Temu alien. Everything's Jamaica to me. And the land of grenades and AIDS is fun. I just don't always go there, but the beaches are nice. I like to hear what you say, and that is alright. So basically, I went on a long rant of rapping. So basically, just to make it clear, these are the possums. And I said very different than the American possums. Yeah, this is the American possum. It's very scary. It's very hairy. Look at the possum. It is very scary and hairy. I think I'll call him Terry. The possum from Australia, that possum is named Larry. All the babies are named Carrie. Alright, there is the possum teeth. It looks like he is not the possum to beef. He looks like he has a lot of beef. That's me when I'm dropping bars. Silver said it's a good thing we all know each other. Otherwise, I'd be alien in the possums. That made perfect sense. I'm glad we all know each other. I would be scared. Silver, you make me so scared. And that is that. Oh, Remy, it's a beautiful island. And also they have beautiful beaches there. Yeah, the other night Silver showed us the beach. You know, basically she told me about the beach and I looked it up and I showed it to chat. It's beautiful, yes. All the Caribbean's beautiful, and specifically that beach as well. And also there is a dish that she was talking about that is on the beach. And Silver, if you want to refresh the chat, my memory, what that dish is called, because I have a Timu memory, Silver. Oh, tell the chat the name of that beach dish that y'all have. And, oh, Boudreaux, glad that you're finally home. Talking like a cone. That's what I'm doing. I'm dropping my Timu bars. They're going to get me far. All right, so those are the possums. All right, so this is the island she's talking about. It's a very beautiful island. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. All right, this is the island. And we were looking at it the other day. As I said, very beautiful island. And the water is very enchanting. You could see the beautiful blue hues in it. It's a very gorgeous island. Gorgeous island. It's very nice. The U.S. also imposed tariffs on Canada since the 1930s. The tariff war between Canada and the U.S. is nothing new under the sun. Thanks, Strand, for the information. She also says Canada has been putting tariffs on the U.S. products since the 1800s. Just saying. All I'm doing is laying verses, and I call that laying. Thank you, Silver. Oil down is a national dish. All right. And so basically, you have the blue sky and the clouds. Very nice. Let's look at the beach. The beach is very beautiful. But yeah, oil down's the dish. Thank you. All right, this is the water. The beaches over there are so gorgeous. They will cause you to get addicted. The beaches are so blue, the bluest water in the world. You'll get addicted to going there, and also to all of those things. The palm trees too, with the irradiating nice warm sun and breeze. And then you have the red syrup too, and that is nice as well. Oh well, I'm going to ring the church bells. Oil down on the beach as the sun sets. The cascading of the sky of different pink hues is all I need, and I bet. And I'm glad that we have Silver from this enchanting land. A blessing she is to be in chat as well as long as everyone else, and that is a fact. It's close to Venezuela, that's true. And yeah, Remy's from the Asian continent. That is true, yes. Yeah, go swimming there. That is beautiful. Swim in the sapphire seas of the Caribbean. The enchanting undulation of the waves. In the deep, mysterious caves of diamonds. Very strong, willing people were able to overthrow the French colonialism. They put their hands up in the air as fists, and they won their independence. French could go wee in France. They could go there and eat the rotten pears. Beautiful, enchanting sands with the finite crystal sand mites all over, like little bits of fire. Sand is like a bunch of tiny diamonds and crystals, with the enchanting, mysterious creatures, the starfish and the crabs and the hermit crabs. That is what heaven looks like, paradise, and that is right. Amen. What a magnificent earth we live in. Yeah, and another thing I want to make clear is that as long as they don't wee in their pants. Yeah, Stranded. What the brave people of this land did, they punched them right in the bladder. Right in the stomach. Right below the belly button. That's what these brave people of this land did to the French. They went wee in their pants. And they ran right back to France. I see London, I see France, I see wee-wee's underpants. Oh, Silver, that's very cool. That's very interesting. I agree. Let's take a group trip, Boudreaux. Facts. 5 cats, the great adventurer. I paddled in the Bahamas, and a baby shark swam by. Well, that is awesome, and that is that. Now, the pronunciation, my Timu memory forgot the pronunciation of this enchanted land. Silver can help in the chat if she'd like. It's pronounced something like Grenada. I don't know for certain if that's how it's pronounced. I thought that's what she said, but if I got it wrong, she could correct my Timu intelligence and my Timu memory. All right. 7 Seas talk, y'all need your boots or boats. And that is true. Speaking of the French, Macron is married to a man. And I'm sure he needs some oil and get himself a tan. I am back and stuffed. And that's what's up. Wee. All the way home, Remy. Yeah, the blue water is so very cool. That's a baby blue right there. That's baby blue. Hey, Ken. I'm still alive. It's been a great time. Yeah. I always heard about the pronunciation Grenada, but not sure if that's right way to say it. Because Silver told me the pronunciation the other day, but no, it's a Caribbean island. It's a Caribbean island, rather. Yeah, also the mountains are very nice too. Very nice mountains. Or those are to know more scenery of it. Moki likes going to Mexico. Oh, that what you saw stranded is a stuffed mouse. Grenada. Okay, thank you, Silver. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Cherry. That looks like art in Grenada. All right, Remy. Understood. Oh, it was a crab. Okay, so I put a picture up of the stuffed animal on the beach. That's probably what it was. Oh, okay, stranded. Understood. Understood. I will certainly. I would certainly go to. I will certainly go there one day to Grenada. Thank you, Tasman, and I will do that. Oh yeah, there's some blue right there. Some blue and purple. That's my color and blue's color mixed together. Scared. Yeah, we need a Timu group discount. Absolutely. Yeah, sunset's very beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. And silver comes from this beautiful enchanting place. Yeah, that's nice too. I'm only colorblind. Scared. All right, that's another piece of the sun. Very beautiful, very gorgeous as it goes down. Very gorgeous. And yeah, over here you're having this, and that's nice purple. Nice purple. Yeah, that is where silver's from. Yeah, very gorgeous. I love the palm trees. The palm trees very nice. All right, so you got this also. And this is the beach meal that they cook right on the beach. Oil down.
Oh, you're back on the beach.
Yeah, yeah, because we're talking about where
You
silver.
were on the beach yesterday, you said.
Well, we're back on the beach again.
That's what I said.
Okay. Hello, Lauren. Good to see you. So we're talking about the island again, and I had a bunch of. I dropped a bunch of bars, a bunch of raps, and we're talking about the Ark of the Covenant, which we're going to go back to at some point. But yeah, we're just showing the other people in the chat that weren't here about the oil down. Oil down. We'll read some information about this for everybody. Oil down is a salted meat and vegetable stew that is national dish of Grenada. Yeah, like a hearty stew, yes. Oil down is a stew of breadfruit, salted meat, chicken, dumplings, callaloo, and callaloo, and other vegetables stewed in coconut milk, herbs, and spices. The name refers to the fact that the oil from the coconut milk, that sounds delicious, used in cooking is either absorbed by the ingredients or settles to the bottom of the cooking pot. All of the liquid is cooked down, dried out, and hence the name of the oil down. All right, blue. It's blue. It's all right. Yeah, blue. All right. So blue. Smokey's a friend of mine from the trial chat. She's cool people, and so she's all right. But thanks for watching a chat. But yeah, she's okay. She, she's doing good. Yeah, blue's triggered, but Moki didn't do anything. All right, so what kind of blue is what kind of meat's in oil down? Okay, we use salted pigtail, coconut milk, fried salted fish, salted beef okra, with a group of provisions, with ground provisions, with all ground provisions. Okay. Moki, you did. I don't think you said anything wrong. Okay.
It's all good.
It's all good. All right. Just just be yourself. It's okay. You don't have to change yourself. You're all good. All right. Oil down is a stew of the breadfruit, salted meat, chicken, dumplings, callaloo, or callaloo, other vegetables stewed in coconut milk, herbs, and spices. The name refers to the fact that oil from the coconut milk is used in cooking is either absorbed by the ingredients or settles to the bottom of the cooking pot. Yeah, stranded. Maybe one day it could be made without fish. We could, if Alien or Silver made a dish of this, we could take the fish out of it. This reminds me of gumbo. It reminds me of the. I will be even broad here. The Caribbean. I know it's not. I know it's a specific island, but it reminds me of the. This is like the Caribbean gumbo. But I understand it's a specific island, not the entire Caribbean. Oh, hello, Linda. I'm glad that you came here. See, Linda, earlier people weren't able to watch the live stream because Law and Crime went off, so we're here. Here we are. Oh yeah, gumbo is great on Thanksgiving. By the way, it's delicious. For a long time, so my good neighbors down the street, I was and my family. We ate some gumbo for Thanksgiving, and it was a special treat. Yeah, not my family here, but the ones down the street, my uh, close friends. The term "oil down" is also used for a traditional neighborhood party at which the stew is prepared and eaten. Traditionally, it is men who cook the oil down at such parties. Oil down is also very popular in local restaurants. Oh yeah, an outdoor kitchen. That's glorious. Absolutely. And also there is no set recipe for oil down as each household and each parish there is no set recipe for oil down as each household and each parish makes suit their own preference. And also Moki has a question for Lauren. What does Lauren think of the fire trial? Scared. There is no set recipe for oil down, as each household in each parish make it to suit their preference.
Each parish?
Yeah, parish. Well, they're part of France. Unlike most stews, in which the ingredients get a thorough mixing during cooking process, a pot of oil down is packed. Exactly how to pack the pot is a matter of taste and tradition, as well as a subject of occasional controversy. Everyone has a different order and method, but usually the breadfruit and meat goes on the bottom. Most vegetables in the middle, and the callaloo leaves and dumplings on top of the ingredients, simmer in situ. Yeah, right on, Linda. Traditionally, the dish is finished when all liquid has been absorbed, which usually takes at least an hour, depending on the size of the pot. Oil down is not unique to Grenada. Let's see if I said it right. Just checking it again. Agree. Going too far back. Yeah, so it's a very enchanting. very beautiful dish. It's very good. And I think that it's good, to eat it. It reminds me of a very traditional, nice meal to eat. Very good. All right. Anyway, and Silver says, "Well, Silver, it's not me. Everybody can hear me well. I can even hear the church bells. I am buying, but others sell. My audio is good as well. It's time for me to show the cat another show and tell." And shout out to Bubbles. He wants his food. He and also he likes to talk, but we'll compensate him. And all right, so yeah, it must be something on her end. All right, and traditionally the dish is finished when all the liquid has been absorbed, which usually takes at least an hour depending on the size of the pot. Silver says kalalo is a form of spinach. Ah, okay. Just that the leaves are bigger and darker green. I've grown a type of spinach that has bigger leaves like that before, so yeah, that's very interesting. I love that. This sounds like heaven on earth. Yeah, and also Moki, I'm still catching up, but I'm not sure what to think. Those phone calls are terrifying. Scared. I feel like those pots are like cast iron pans. They get seasoned more and more as you use them. Well, I'm glad it's easier to talk in. Awesome. Hilarious, Boudreaux. Hilarious. Oil down is not unique to Grenada. Oh, well, I said it wrong again. Okay. Grenada. Okay. It is part is popular nearby Trinidad and I'm probably saying that wrong too. In Tobago. Okay, Silver, understood. It's okay. It's okay. Which share a long history of cultural influences with. Oh, I spaced out for a second. With Grenada. There are differences in how each island makes its oil down. However, with the Grenadians. Okay, thank you, Silver. Preferring dasheen, dumplings, turmeric, while Triadians tend toward a simpler dish without dumplings, but with hot peppers. There are different versions of the stew other than the Caribbean countries, as with Guiana. No, I said that wrong. Guiana, probably. Similar stew is called metagi, or I said that wrong probably also, or metum. And the Jamaica and in Jamaica, scared. There is a seafood version called rundown. Uh-oh, let's look at the Jamaican version. All right, Lauren says the right fighters trying to control chat. Heaven forbid someone have a single thought that differs from them. I know, right? It's like, are we in communist China or what? Is chat supposed to be democratized? All right, Lauren says Tasman. No, I had tons of work. Weather hasn't been very nice, so I'm too sad and have been low 70s. All right. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right. So, hello, Liberty. Good to see you. Oh yeah, the Karen Reed trial is wild. I didn't know it became a national dish of Grenada. But when I was growing up, it was salt, fish, and green bananas. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Speaking of bananas, Silver, as where I am is a tropical area. It's not like where you are from, where you are from, but it's it's kind of tropical. And I've gotten from the neighbors, I've gotten some bananas. I've gotten bananas before, and I've tried it right from the banana tree. It's so delicious. The bananas from a banana tree. Oh goodness, that's the greatest bananas ever. Never got into retrial. I watched the series though. It seems so corrupt. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Shout the Bubbles. We'll compensate you, Bubbles. Compensation. All right. Rundown, also referred to rundown or rundun, and fling me for, is a stew in the Jamaican. This is a different island in Jamaica, a different island. And Jamaica is Tortuga. So in the pirate game where I show y'all Tortuga, it's Jamaica's the same thing. All right, let's look it up. Hamburger and apple pie in the United States is the official dish of the USA. Is hamburgers and apple pie. Oh no, I have not tried that yet, but I will at some point in the near future. I will certainly go try some peach. A couple of peaches, wink wink. But yeah, I will certainly go get the peach from up there. Yeah. All right. So, hello Bubbles. All right. Psst, 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 psst. From Linda. He said thank you. It consists of soup made of reduced coconut milk with different types of seafood, fish, crabs, small lobsters, or shellfish, plantain, yam, tomato, onion, and seasonings, mackerel and salted mackerel and mackerel are often used as dish. Other fish are also used, including locally caught fish, cod, salt cod, shad, other oily fish, red snapper, swordfish, pickled fish, bull pizzle, and cassava. Traditionally, the dish is served with side dishes of dumplings and baked breadfruit. Remy wants peaches from Georgia too. Awesome. We'll have a group trip there. H Liberty says baseball hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. I like that. I love baseball hot dogs, by the way. Have a banana day. Have a banana a day. All right. Also, talk about this, and I'm going to stand up for a moment and feed Bubbles in a moment. See if he needs any food. Rondon originated in Jamaica and was exported to Latin America by Afro-Jamaican immigrant workers who migrated in the early 19th century to build projects such as the Panama Canal, Costa Rican railroads, and dish is unique in the island, which is a population having left their home in Africa, Europe, and Asia, where which population have left their homes in Africa, Europe, and Asia, were forced to limit amount of goods, example fish and coconut milk, that were widely available, although most Jamaicans are of a mixed African descent, and the dish is not consumed in African mainland or nor in the continent. It is, however, consumed by small minorities on the island of Tobago, as well as areas in South Central America that have Jamaican expertise. Rondon Jamaican patois, Anglicanism of the word rundown, which describes the runny or liquefied nature of the sauce. The name could also originate from the manner in which the fish is thoroughly cooked until it falls apart or runs down. Ah, that's why it's called that. The birds have the best advantage in the Caribbean. They get to pick the ripe fruits first. Ah, ha ha ha. Oh, that sounds absolutely scared. Cringe. All right. Nathan's are the best hot dogs. All right. Liberty says, I went and got eggs from the neighbor's backyard a while back. I met the chickens. They were kind of gross, but well cared for. I couldn't eat those eggs. Hilarious. Yeah, Nathan's are good hot dogs. Yes. Yeah, the chat is horrendous over there. I agree. I'm going to stand up and go over to the cat, but I'm still here. All right. I'm going to see about if he needs anything. All right, buddy. You want some food? All right. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm feeding the Kia. Let's see. All right. It's okay, buddy. All right. There we go. Alright, so he's enjoying himself. Yeah, I think the birds and the parrots they have over there are very enchanting. And I don't even know if y'all can hear me or not, but I'm still trying anyway, so I'm across the room. So basically, all of those birds are getting the fresh fruit first. I think that is completely, in some ways it's like not fair but funny at the same time. I really love those dishes. I look forward to trying them in the future also. Alright. Shout out to the Kia. Scared. He likes someone by him while he eats. So, the cat is eating. He's enjoying his late lunch. Alright. Alright. Yeah, so that's what I think, basically, is, these dishes are extremely enchanting. And I like how it's by the beach, also. Right? done. Blue, Bubbles likes to eat at different times. It happens at random times. And I was going to see if that's what he wanted to make sure, and that's what he wanted to eat. All right, now Bubbles, he's kind of shy. One time I had a caller on the show with me, because I do call-ins, and I had him on the camera. Now, he sometimes sits on my lap, but what I put him on the camera, and he got stage fright, and he scratched all up my back. He doesn't like necessarily being held up to the camera, but, you know, I will see if I can put him on my lap. Let's see. Looking at chat. All right. Let's see. All right. There he is right here. Shot the Bubbles. All right, yeah, shot the Bubbles. He told everybody hello. Yeah, Bubbles, just text me, please. All right. Also, I meow at Bubbles. Facts. I've been using it plenty times at family, military, and gangs. And also, Stranded, it was not your call. It was the other person. It was someone else's call. Bubbles says, just text me, please. Yo, some of my favorite humans, beautiful extraterrestrial. Well, thank you, beautiful Capri. Glad that you're here with us. It was... He didn't scare Bubbles. Hey, Ken. Yeah. Eventually I'll get off. Happened to me, the park, a slice of pizza, right hand. Alright. Yeah, shout out to chat, cool people. Alright. Is a Jamaican patios... Yeah, I read that, okay. Preparation. So we're talking about ingredients in... We're talking about ingredients in these different foods. And this is a Caribbean, a Jamaican dish, specifically. Alright, the preparation. The ingredients for the dish describe as rondon. No, rondon. It's a French word. Vary from region to region, but coconut milk is always an essential ingredient. Stranded, no one scared the cat. It's just one time when he was on the stream with me, the cat, I put him up to the camera and he got stage fright. Stage fright. But when he's on my lap, he doesn't mind being on the camera. Yes, rundown, correct. The ingredients described, coconut milk is always the essential ingredient. And in Nicaragua, the meat used might be fish, beef, pork, or even turtle meat. Scared. A common ingredient in the Caribbean cuisine, but also illegal in some countries, to which seasonings are added. It might include the bell peppers, onions, bananas, cassava, elephant's ear. I like those. Now, that's a plant, I think. Yeah, the elephant ear plant. Yeah, thanks Capri for giving her a shout out. And an ear in Aragon. On the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica, the ingredients include cassava, taro. It's a type of elephant ear plant. Yam, plantain, green bananas, and meat. Might be fish, lobster, or crabs, and spices such as thyme, garlic, and onions. And yellow lantern chili, or chile panameno, the important ingredient in Costa Rican cuisine. It can be served with flour dumplings on the Colombian island of San Andreas. The ingredients used are fish, snails, other seafood, or pork. The vegetables include cassava, taro, plantain, potatoes, and spices used include basil, oregano, peppers, onion, garlic, and poultry seasoning. And Panama. The seafood prepared with coconut milk can be served with rice, tostones, and patacones, and salads. Remy, she's not. She came in for a second and went out. She was like in the house for a second, then went back to where the cats are. Oh, Stranded, I'll do a whole thing on that right now after I read this little piece because it's complicated about the elephant ear plants being edible. It is and it isn't at the same time. In the coastal areas of Colombia, the rundown refers to the conch stew. Oh, conch stew. I know what a conch is. I've made a conch horn before. It's very cool. We're talking about a plant, but if Stranded's being serious about the real elephants, no, it's the elephant ear plant. This dish may be prepared with conch meat, salt pork, root vegetables, breadfruit, and plantations cooked in coconut milk. In Trinidad, Grenada, and Barbados, a similar dish that utilizes palm oil is referred to as oil down, usually prepared with salted beef or pork, breadfruit, and palm oil and seasonings, boiled in coconut milk until it thickens. This dish is similar to yama and kungo dish. Oh, that's cool, Silver. I'm sure the cooking's delicious. Lord of the Flies. Yes, Capri. I read that. I read that back in school. I know exactly what you're talking about. All right, so this is about the elephant ear plant. This is the elephant ear plant, and I grow them in my yard. I have them growing right now. Strand said, I was talking about the plant too. My grandma had an elephant ear plant, but I didn't know they were edible. She just had one growing because she liked it. Hey, it's okay, Remy. It's okay. It's a plant that grows down here in the America. I've grown elephant ear plants to the height of my house. It's not like a two-story house. It's like a one-story house. But a hurricane came and they went back down. Yeah, so that is the elephant ear plants. You know, and I have a bunch of them. Like I have a whole entire thing of them that well, all right, so the elephant ear plants being edible, they have a they have crystals in it, these little micro crystals that can be kind of hard to eat. But if they're cooked really thoroughly, it'll kind of like mellow them out. But then they say taro. I've seen so kind of different things. Like taro's the edible one. A taro is this other thing right here. It looks like the same thing, but a little bit different. Like the bulbs are eaten. The only leaf that she eats is grios. Scared. Hilarious from me. All you need to know about the growing is Colacia taro is also known as elephant ear. Is this grow guide Colacia esculentia taro elephant ear is grown for a huge velvety heart shape leaves in shades of lime green and purple and black. At the at the fair they have a sweet called elephant ear. It's a big fried bread with cinnamon and sugar. Very good. Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know about that. Thanks. Taro is a root vegetable. It is most widely cultivated species of several plants in the family that are used as vegetables for their corms. Sun eats the trees. Hilarious, chat. All right. So let's see. Is the elephant ear plant edible? You'll hear like 5 different answers, okay, about this. If the elephant ear's plant is edible or not. All right. Elephant ear plant. Here's the answer. The leaves are edible, but they, in all parts of the plant, contain a needle-like crystals of calcium oxalate, which are a skin irritant. So they must be cooked first. Fields of taro, colocasia, and esculentia in Hawaii, one of the most widely grown species, esculentia called taro, and many other common names. So the leaves are edible. Everything's edible, but the leaves are edible, but they have a needle-like crystals, and they have to be cooked very thoroughly. As I said, I have fields of this thing. I have fields of elephant ear plants. I have tons of it. I learned this in 2020. So before I really started getting back on YouTube, before I found ABL and Smoke and Scan, found Smoke and Scan first during the riots. And also, I found the other one where there's riots, and then I found ABL during the 2020 election. So basically, and also 2019 and 18, like, so what I would do is I would be in my yard a lot and be in nature. And what I would do is I would be with the elephant ear plants, and I researched a lot about them to see if they're edible or not. So that's how I remember all this, but I'm reading it to you now with sources and everything. Yeah, Remy, that's why it makes your mouth itch, because it contains needle-like crystals. And they have to be, if they're cooked really thoroughly, in theory, they shouldn't do that. But, yeah. Your favorite boba tea is taro. Elephant ear is a common name for a group of tropical perennial plants grown for their large heart-shaped leaves. The leaves are edible, but they, in all parts of the plant, contain needle-like crystals, calcium oxide, which skin irritants. It must be cooked first. Oh, okay, okay, Remy. Okay, Remy. Yeah, it's because of those needle-like crystals in it. All you need to know about growing colocasia, also known as elephant ears, in the Grow Guide, Colocasia esculentia taro is grown for its huge velvet. Okay, are they ear versus taro? Elephant ear or taro colocasia is emerged aquatic plant native to Southeast Asia. Taro is present throughout southeastern United States, where it invades wet areas. Oh, you know what you could do with elephant ear plants? There's a patch of area that was like a bog in my yard, where it just like water sits there when it after it rains for a little while, and I throw the bulbs over there, and all those plants just start sprouting. Like you just throw the bulbs in like some water, and they go sprout. Colocasia, Caldium, Dasheen, Dasheen, Elephant Ears, Green Taro, and Malanaga Taro. The taro leaves have more of a rounded curves at the top of the heart shape. Elephant ears have more of a pointy angles at the top of the heart shape. All right, so you see taro. I want to flip over here so y'all can see it. Taro is this right here. It's the one with the purple in it. It's the one to my right, maybe your left. And then the other one is the one without the purple in it. And you see how the elephant ear plant is more pointy, and the other one is not as pointy. All right, Tasman. See you later, buddy. Thank you for coming here. You are very good, very good. Now, soon I'll be ending it anyway, Tasman. Soon it's a time where I'll be about to be ending it soon. But yeah, so those are some other pictures of the elephant ear plants right there. And basically over here, we're going to continue about. I'll read some more about the Ark of the Covenant from the CIA. The target is a container. The container has another container inside of it. The target is Phinos finished with wood, gold, and silver. They said allegedly, not knowing, they were trying to find the ark. Similar in shape to a coffin, it is decorated with seraphim. The declassified document shows several pages of drawings, a depiction of the four seraphim standing out of the corners of the ark, along with the drawings of the mummies lined up on the wall. I don't know, Remy. I don't know why there's no court on Monday. The declassified document shows several pages of drawings of depicting one of the four seraphim standing out in the corners of the ark, along with the drawing of mummies and lined walls. And here's a seraphim, for instance, right there. Visuals of surrounding buildings indicate of the presence of mosque domes. They added, so there's mosque domes also. Allegedly, this is all alleged. This is not known if this is true or not. The CIA documented somebody was able to telepathically see the Ark of the Covenant. We don't know if it's true or not, but this is alleged from the CIA documents. Oh, okay, Lauren. Okay. They said the object was hidden underground in a dark, wet container, in wet conditions. There is an aspect of spirituality information, lessons and historical knowledge far beyond what we know, remote viewer 32 counted. Miranda, I'm glad you took your kids to the park. Spend time with family. That's important. They described the Ark as being protected by entities that would destroy individuals who attempted to damage the object. The target is protected by entities and can only be opened by those who are authorized to do so. This container will not and cannot be opened until time deemed correct. The remote view controller continued. Yeah, family comes first. That's true. You know, kids need to do their thing. No problem. A good mother you are. Miranda says, thanks, gotta get out. It's the safest country, has been a long time, but one, also, I gotta notice that police will be visiting our home to put up signs for criminal activity to stay out. Yay. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear about that. Oh, nice. Nice, Miranda. Quote, individuals opening the container by prying and striking are destroyed by the container's protectors. Use a power unknown to us. So that's the Ark of the Covenant. This is not the literal Ark of the Covenant. This is a animation of it. And how it worked in ancient Israel, as I said, it was behind a curtain, and the high priest would make the sacrifice of the lamb, the other little animals like the doves and stuff, the animal sacrifices, and to the atonement of the sins of the people of that time. You know, which would mirror, according to the Christian perspective, the coming of Christ to be the final one to end this type of practice, to bring God to everybody, according to Christianity. And also, basically, so that's the Ark. And if you were to, there's a story when King David, and they're bringing the Ark back from a group of people that stole it, because it was like God used to dwell in that. And sometimes these groups would steal the Ark of the Covenant. And basically, you know, when they would take the Ark of the Covenant back, and it was rocky road it was not a road, but it was rocky terrain that King David did it. And then somebody touched the ark to stabilize it, and he was deleted instantly because, if you touch the ark, you're deleted. Scientifically, you could say it has like some sort of a nuclear power, some sort of radiation to it, but also God dwells within it, and he's all powerful. And yeah, so that is David did it wrong when he was bringing the covenant back. So that was one of the stories from it. So yeah, there's a lot of trauma with the ark, and there's the Jericho. They walked around the walls of Jericho without saying a word. That's why they didn't say any word, because when you speak negative stuff over your life, you can cause yourself more problems in theory. So they said nothing, and they went with the priests. They carried the Ark of the Covenant around for a couple of days, and then God crushed the walls of Jericho. So the very historical, biblically, all Abrahamic religions would, believe in this part of it. So the Ark of the Covenant is missing, and this is a telepathic. Someone had it; they allegedly saw it. So just that is the Ark of the Covenant. This is what it looks like. Why would it need protection? Well, basically, the angels would shield it, because that's what it's just for. Because it's symbolically meaning the throne of God. There's angels that cover the God's throne, and because he has the angels to please him. So the Ark of the Covenant symbolically is him on inside a thing. So they protect the Ark of the Covenant from, say, somebody trying to disturb it, getting it stolen. But as I said, it may not be true, Moki, because if you touch the Ark of the Covenant, you're deleted. So the Ark can kind of protect itself. So it's either for some, because there's always angels around the throne of the Lord. They don't want people bothering it. Or as I said, maybe it's not true what they're saying about this incident. So as I said, the Ark of the Covenant, or maybe the angels are the ones that delete people. But yeah, if you touch the Ark, you're deleted. So as I said, this may not even be real, this thing that happened. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You like the Jericho history. All right, so Moki, God is omnipresent. I know, understand. So God is omnipresent. That is true. But he chose to dwell with the children of Israel inside the Ark of the Covenant. Is like that was him being there with him in spirit. Rather than being with them in spirit physically inside of them, he was with them inside that. And where God was being worshipped, and that's where his presence was. He does not need to be there, but that is where he chose to put an attribute of himself into. Because, like the Christianity, there's a Trinity in Christianity where he could be in two different places at once. Right, so it was a spiritual dwelling place for him to be. And also, they would sacrifice, to the atonement of sins, lambs, and also they had the doves for the atonement of the sins of the people. And then, but remember, symbolically, that was mirroring the sacrifice according to Christianity, what Jesus would do on the cross, and therefore breaking the walls and the veil of the temple. And that practice was over with, and now God would dwell with the people, without that. So also another thing is that's where the 10 Commandments were stored. So Moses had the 10 Commandments in his staff, and they put it there, inside the ark. So that's what's inside the ark, is the 10 Commandments. And also, it's like an altar, like people that pray to gods and goddesses. And God said, okay, if these people worship these false gods like this, you Israelites, build this thing for me, and I will dwell with you all there. And that's why during that time, there were stonings and stuff, according to Christianity, because God's presence was literally there with them, like, in a sense, like physically. But then when Jesus came, there was a new law and in a new way for people. So right, as Remy said, God is not in a box. That is true. It was just it's like a spiritual dwelling place as a symbolically there for Israel at that time. But no, God is in heaven. That is where he is. So that is long-winded explanation about how that works. So no, he's not literally in a box. No. It is him, is spiritual dwelling there. Right. When a remote viewer is tasked with locating an object, information is written down on paper and placed into an envelope. Joe McMoneagle, a U.S. Army chief warrant officer and the first person to remote viewing of the CIA, told the New York Post that allegedly do not know what is scrolled down and guided through the process of another person. However, the Mr. Mon-Eagle does not believe that this remote viewing case worth the paper is written on, claiming the season is bogus. And also, Moki, as I said, and other people, you don't have to believe in Christianity or these type of Abrahamic religions. You could see it as a type of mythology if you'd like. But this is just how what is written about it. It's how it works. Yeah. Scared. If someone claims that the remote viewing process exists in such an Ark of the Covenant, they must produce an Ark substantiate their claim he added. Alright, so we don't know if it's true or not, but they're saying that the CIA found the Ark of the Covenant allegedly, but we don't know if it's true or not. Over 100 views. That's awesome. Alright. Also, having a little bit of a recap here. This is Oil Down, which is the dish of Grenada. Oh, hello, Amanda. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. All right, so Amanda and Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca. Good to see you all. So basically, Amanda and Rebecca. I hope that in all the chat also, if I didn't mention this before, I hope everybody's having a good day. And Amanda, I'm glad to see you here. And we're talking about a variety of different topics throughout the day. We've talked about many different things, and also, Silver Fox. She's from the Caribbean, from Grenada. So we're talking about Oil Down, which was a dish from there, and also Rundown, another island from Jamaica. And then we're talking about the trials. I did some rapping. Also, we just got finished talking about allegedly the CIA allegedly found the Ark of the Covenant because somebody telepathically saw it there, and are talking about how it works, in the Middle East somewhere. But we don't know if that's true or not, if it really happened, but the CIA claimed that it's something that may have occurred. Thank you, Amanda. Moki says, well, I'm out. Thanks for the live, Alien. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Moki, I hope you have a great weekend, and I'm so glad that you and Joy suggested this. I was glad to do this live stream. It was really fun today. Really, really fun. As I said, we're getting close to the end of it, but be live for a little bit more. So, yeah, wonderful to see you too. And that's the other dish rundown. And also, since Amanda and Rebecca, I'll explain it to y'all since y'all weren't here about this dish and a little recap. So, Oil Down, which is a salted meat and vegetable stew that is national dish of Grenada. Oil Down is a stew, breadfruit, salted meat, chicken, dumplings, and kalu. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. And other vegetables stewed in coconut milk, herbs, and spices. The name refers to the fact that oil from the coconut milk used in cooking is either absorbed by the ingredient or settles to the bottom of the cooking pot. All the liquid cooked down is dried, hence the name oil down. The term also is a traditional neighborhood party at which the stew is prepared and eaten. It's also prepared at the beach. That's a very good movie, Rebecca. Awesome. All right. And continuing, so it has coconut milk, herbs, and spices. And it's something that you prepare at the beach. The term oil down is also used for a traditional neighborhood party in which the stew is prepared and eaten traditionally, and it is the men who cook the oil down at such parties. Yeah, scared. Oil down is also very popular in local restaurants. There is also no set recipe for oil down, as each household in each parish make it to suit their preference. Unlike most stews, in which the ingredients get thorough mixing during the cooking process, a pot of oil down is packed. Exactly how to pack the pot is a matter of taste and tradition, as well as a subject of occasional controversy. Everyone has a different order and method, but usually the breadfruit and meat goes to the bottom of the most vegetables in the middle, and the callaloo leaves and dumplings top to the ingredients and simmer in sutu. She needs some vitamin D, probably. Diddy loves oil down. That's true. Traditionally, the dish is finished when all the liquid has been absorbed, which usually takes at least an hour depending on the size of the pot. Oil down is not unique to Grenada. It is popular in the nearby Trinidad and Tobago, which share a long history cultural influence with Grenada. All right, Stranded. Thank you for being here, Stranded, and have a nice weekend. Thank you. And culturally influence, there also are differences in each island making its oil down. However, with Grenadines preferring disheen, dumplings, and turmeric, Trinidadians tend toward a simpler dish without dumplings but hot peppers. There are different versions of the stew in the Caribbean countries, as well as in Grenada. The only blizzard I want to deal with is the from Dairy Queen. Facts. Similar stew, and also in Jamaica, there's seafood called rundown. All right. That's some cooking of it right there. And this is a close-up of it. All right. Now, two things before we end it. I'm going to talk about, which we'll talk about more detail in other streams, about the Titan briefly for a moment. This is a recap about the Titan. Yeah, this was the implosion that happened from, they're saying that, remember when this was happening, when we were doing when we used to do only late night streams. Amanda and the group were talking about how, and I reacted to videos about it. Oh, Rebecca, Silver said it tastes much better than it looks. It tastes better than it looks. Yeah. And All right, so they said that with the Titan, it it imploded and it became as hot as the sun and everything vaporized. I just didn't believe that, and I was telling the chat that at the time. So I thought my theory was it imploded and it just kind of broke up in big pieces, and that's what it. I was right, okay. And I never went to college, but as they said it, like it imploded and it did this sonic boom, and it was like this hot sun, and everything just vaporized. That's not how it works, you know. And you know, it just you have to. It's not the laws of physics. You know, that's not. It's like it's so cold down there, and there's all kinds of crustaceans and things, and there's like abyss. It's the abyssal trench. Titanic's in the abyssal trench. That's where it is basically. It's extremely deep, and there's like abyssal fish there. The Egyptian ones. Can you be? If you're asking me a question, Remy, can you be more specific? Thank you. Yeah, Remy's gonna give us our crack. She will. I believe in her. All right. On 18 June 2023, the Titan submersible operated by American journalism and expeditions company OceanGate imploded during an expedition to view the wreck of the Titanic, the North Atlantic Ocean of the coast off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada. Aboard the submersible were Stockton Rush, American Chief Executive Officer of OceanGate, Paul Henry Nargeolet, a French deep sea explorer and Titanic expert Hamish Harding, a British businessman Shahza Dawood, and Pakistani businessman and Dawood's son Solomon. Amanda, this is what happened. So, we were watching Law and Crime earlier. Remy, I didn't know that. This is yeah. I'm talking about the Titan submersible that went to Titanic, but I didn't know that. Thank you. Okay, so okay, so that's not got to look up. Yeah, very interesting how that happened the same way. That's very suspicious. Think of the word for a second. Amanda, so we're watching Law and Crime, and these trials, the two trials that are happening now, are on the East Coast. So when they're on the East Coast, they are much shorter. And the ones like Monica Cementelli in California last all the way until like around this time. So that is, and then they were telling me in the chat they wanted me to go live, so I went live right after their Law and Crime ended, and here we are. So this was a surprise stream, a random stream. And I guess we're not doing the one at 7 p.m. Central like the usual schedule on Friday. No. Because we did this stream. Alright. Communications between the Titan and the mothership MVP Polar Prince was lost in 1 hour and 33 minutes into the dive. Authorities were alerted when it failed to resurface at the scheduled time later that day. After the submersible had been missing for 4 days, remotely operated underwater vehicle discovered a debris field containing parts of the Titan about 500 meters from the bow of the Titanic. The search area was informed by United States sonar detection of an acoustic signature consisted with the implosion around the time of communications with the submersible ceased, suggesting the pressure hull had imploded while Titan was descending, resulting in instantaneous deaths of the 5 occupants. All right, let's look at this thing from Egypt. right. Wow, I got... What? At least 6 people deleted after submarine carrying tourists on a reef tour in the Red Sea sinks off the coast of Egypt. Cairo, a recreational submarine taking 45 tourists on an underwater cruise off the coral reef in the Red Sea sank off the Egyptian resort town of Hurghada on Thursday, leaving 6 Russians deleted. Interesting. Provincial governor said the remaining tourists, more than 2 dozen of whom were injured, were rescued, he said. All right, so that's where it is, right there. Egypt. We know where Egypt is, and it's right there. All right. The cause of the sinking was not immediately known. The Russian consulate said it took place about 1,000 meters, 0.6 miles offshore. The submarine was carrying 45 tourists and 5 Egyptian crew members when it sank. The Red Sea governor, Major General Amr Hanafai, said in the statement, adding the rescue teams were quickly sent. He said all six deleted were Russians, and 29 of the 39 tourists rescued were injured and taken to hospitals. No one was still missing from the vessels, he said. Hurghada is a major destination for divers, snorkelers, and other tourists drawn by the Red Sea's extensive coral reefs. The submarine, named Sindbad, runs tours lasting about 40 minutes underwater, cruising about 20 to 25 meters, 65 to 80 feet underwater with panoramic windows on the bottom to give views of the marine life. According to the website, the company that the Russian consulate identified as the running vessel. The company did not respond to the phone calls seeking the comment. Russia's TASS news agency earlier said the Russian deleted included at least 2 children, citing the country's Council of Hurghada. The consulate had said all 45 tourists on board were Russian, but the Egyptian governor said they also included the Indian, Norwegian, and Swedish citizens. Footage posted by the governor's office showed Hanafai meeting survivors at the hospital, including the 2 Egyptian crew members. One Russian tourist had a small bandage on his head. A family with 2 young daughters smiled and told them they were okay. An Indian man asked Hanafai to see his daughter, who remains in critical condition. Doctors can be heard explaining. In November, a tourist on a yacht sank in the Red Sea after warnings of rough waters. Egyptian officials said at least 4 people drowned, while 33 rescued. Tourism also important sector of Egypt's economy, but many tourist companies have stopped or limited traveling on the Red Sea during the dangers of the conflicts of the region. Okay. All right. So basically, that is the information about that occurrence. That is very sad, and it's very, I wonder what, why that happened. And, let's see, reasons. Egypt, submarine, cause. It's still not known what caused the submarine to sink. All right, so it's still not known. As I said, I know there's a lot of wars going on over there in that part of the world. As I said, I don't know what is, what isn't. From Al Jazeera, I know what that is. Neither Egypt nor Russia officials have attributed any specific reasons for the vessel sinking, and the investigations are still going on. All right, so yeah, nobody knows what's going on. I wonder what all that's about. All right. So I want to see. Speaking of Diddy, let's see if anything's going on with Diddy. Yeah, rest in peace to the people that passed away and that were injured. That's prayers to them. That's very crazy about what that happening. I mean, it's like with the Titan. Oh yeah, it is, Remy, and that was very brave. That was very brave and very brilliant of him to do that. And also, he went to the Mariana Trench, and you could see the type of submersible he had. Yeah, he took this submersible, which we're gonna move him over here. I know he went multiple times. Yeah, he went to the Mariana Trench, and you see how that submersible is built. It's not the tin can that the hot water heater that Stockton Rush had. You see how it's built and orchestrated a certain way? You know, it is very intricate. It is very specific, and you got to do the thing right. So he went down there, all by himself down there, and sometimes he has crew people with him, but he goes down there and he explored the deepest trench of the world. So, and then I still can't believe they left the Titanic wreck there. Amanda said, Remy, I'd never take that kind of chance. I'm a scaredy cat, though. Yeah. yeah. Yeah, understood, Amanda. Yeah. I still can't believe they left the Titanic wreck there. I know, Remy. And guess what, Remy? When the Titanic and the wreck... Titanic wreck... Alright, so basically, let's see, model. Oh yeah, Remy, that would be really cool to see. Alright, so basically you see the Titanic. This is what happened to it. It hit the ground. Well, it hit the sea floor. And there's a now this is like a more of a moderate, like right when it sunk, that's what it would have looked like, but it's aged, of course. So you see there, and under Titanic, I know we could go to space but not Titanic. You see how it went into the ocean floor? And guess what? The sunken ship, right now, the layers that are underneath, like all that junk, all the parts of the ship that are underneath that you can't see, that's hidden by the sea floor, look just like this. It looks just like that. Like, so the paint, it would be still there on that one. Like right now, it's sitting underwater. The parts that were exposed are gone, but those parts that are not exposed still have the paint. Now, Remy, some people think that since it's a grave site, they want to respect it. And they don't want to disturb because it's where people passed away. And also, there's kind of ambiguity legally, like who would have the rights to it. Now Disney want to put it at one of their resorts, one of their amusement parks, for people to see. But yeah, the lifting Titanic has been speculated, but yeah, I think it could be done with the right technology. It could be done, especially since underneath of it, in theory, would still be just as good as it was over 100 years ago, hypothetically. Oh yeah, Remy, the Irish and the English, they built a really strong ship. And Remy, guess what? They had pulleys under there. They had these pulleys, and it's like on a ship you have pulleys and the metal pulleys, a pulley system, and the mechanisms still work on the ship. Like when they got a robot submersible to pull the rope or pull the wire, whatever it was, and it still works. So WD-40 or anything. We have technology to this day that cannot work being outside for 10 minutes without WD-40, but the people that built the Titanic built the thing to do this. It could be underwater for over 100 years, and the pulley system will still work. It works without WD-40 or anything. And yeah, the levers, like you could pull a lever and it'll still work. Hello, Latina. And I want to let you know, Latina, I'm going to be ending it soon. But I'll probably be going live later at night again. But I have to get some things done. I know you just got here. But soon I'll be ending it, though. But yeah, basically, so we're talking about the Titanic right now. And Latina, I'm glad that you're here. This was a special stream that I was not expecting to do much earlier. But, so basically, the Titanic, you have this, and it's Latina, hello to you. Yeah, and all right, now Kadata, please don't do that here and attack Remy like that. We don't need to. Everybody, we're not going to tolerate any kind of fighting here. All right. And I understand there might be some problems, between you two. I understand that, but we could try to, not do that here. Thank you. Hello, Joyce. Good to see you. Oh no, I've been here the whole time, Boudreaux. Oh yeah. Later on tonight. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, and Kadata, I hope that you're having a good day. Also, I hope besides the issues that are going on, you're having a good day. All right. So, there's 49ers here. Oh, you've been watching for a while. Hello, 49ers. Alright, so basically the Titanic, the part of it that's still underwater, that part would still look good. Okay, Kadata, I understand. And hopefully that, both sides can get along, and everybody could just act like adults, and not act unhinged with each other. Yeah, hopefully we'll all get along. But understand, Kadata. I understand, people. I have to deal with people that, irritate me sometimes. I know what you mean. All right. All right. Latina, I understand. And the reason why I don't have anybody as the super mod that I know of is because you would not be able to comment on the shorts, on the videos. But as I said, just remember, you wouldn't be able to comment on shorts. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Alright. Let's see. Let's do this right here. Okay, Latina. Just remember, you won't be able to comment on shorts. It doesn't let you comment on shorts. All right. Earlier, she does not know how to act like an adult, though she's always calling people names in chat. It's just ridiculous, and I'm a nice person until the buttons are pushed. All right. Now, Al Capone said that, he's a nice person until, you cross him and you would not be remembered for not being nice. Yeah, and also, as I said, yeah, it's not nice to call people names, and I don't know exactly, I don't know exactly what the context of the situation is. But yeah, just I think that it's best to not be like the person that you feel aggravated by and to not stoop down to their level and defend yourself, but also at the same time try to correct the person. And I believe that Remy's reasonable, and I think that she would stop doing something if it was causing something that was really bad. I think she would stop doing it. But as I said, I do not know the context of the situation. But as I said, we're a law and crime family, and we have quarrels, and that's okay. And hopefully there could be a peace settlement between both sides, okay? And getting along is the most important thing. But Kadeda, I understand what you're saying, and name calling, yeah, it's not a mature thing to do. We shouldn't probably do that. But as I said, I don't know the context of the situation. But at the same time, it's not right to go at her either and do the same thing. So as I said, it could go both ways. It takes two to tango. But as I said, hopefully it could be resolved. All right. I'm not taking any sides. I don't know what's going on here, but basically, yeah. There we go. Yes, exactly, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, that's the back of the Titanic. It's all like imploded looking, and this is the James Cameron Titanic. '49ers says, hell no, she a damn child. She starts trouble and then plays the victim. Scared. Now, I'll get back to you in a moment. So basically, James Cameron, well, this is not his submersible. Okay, so his submersible looks something like this. So that was his submersible. And that was his other submersible. Thank you. Like I said, I do not mind having peace negotiations to have a peaceful resolve here, like a peace treaty. I think that's fine. I'll be the diplomat in this situation. Okay, and the 49ers understood. I understand your position. And as I said, I don't always see what's going, like every single chat message. But now I will say about Remy, she could be unhinged. She could be feisty, okay? And she's in England. They could be very rough and tough. And they could use a lot of language. From the culture, like in England, they're like that. They have like a different culture to them. And as I said, I think that with her, overall, she's a good person, in my opinion. And I think she's a good chat friend. And yeah, hopefully that both sides can not try to start anything or name call. As I said, I don't know the context of the situation because she never name calls people that I know for no reason. But I said, hopefully that, but also you're adding fuel to the fire when we keep on, when Kadeda goes at her, and then it, just keeps on getting further and further from the truth. It's time to relax and start to spoof. We all live under the same roof. And that's the truth. Thanks, Kadeda. All right. Yeah, who else could get this many people from different channels to come together? Well, thank you, Budro. That was very sweet. Thank you. I am sorry, but this has been boiling for a while now. Hope you understand. Joyce, I know. It's like Ukraine and Russia. That's what this situation is. Or, no pun intended, or a Middle Eastern country fighting another Middle Eastern country right now. In the Middle East. If y'all know what I mean. No pun intended. So yeah, I know it's like the situation with Ukraine and Russia, and that's what we're dealing with right now. But thankfully, nobody in here has told me what I'm going to feel. I'm going to feel it. So if we had Zelensky, he would tell me what I'm going to feel. Thankfully, neither side has told me what I'm going to feel. But if y'all did, it's okay though. I like to feel all kinds of sensations. Yeah, yeah, crack is needed. Yeah. And Joyce, I know it's been going on. They're like two possums fighting. So Kadeta, I was saying earlier, like y'all are like two possums fighting. It's like the possum waddles and it chases the other possum, and then they go back and forth chasing each other and they're angry. That's what y'all are like, a bunch of possums, and also cats. Cats fighting too. That's what y'all are like also. Sometimes women don't get along. I think that's something we could all agree on. Women don't get along, but we all can agree we get along with alien spaceship. All right, that's the truth. So that's something that we could all have a peaceful compromise on. All right. Alicia's very rude. Oh, I don't know about There's Alicia. There's Alicia. Yeah, because Alicia, I don't know. Is that somebody in the hood that I know? I don't know, but neither do men. Well, I'm just a nutcase. I go live to 7 in the morning. I'm streaming, and I didn't even eat the thing I was going to eat earlier, and that's fine. But then I'm always at 7 in the evening. I'm crazy. So I'm just a nutcase, and I love pain and suffering to myself, and that's why I accumulated all women. I think everybody in this chat right now that's talking is women. I just realized that. So there you go. Oh, this is hilarious. I have many names. She can't block all of them. She's the only one we don't get along with, Alien. You have seen her in action. Look, she's feisty. I know she's feisty. I know she's unhinged. But overall, it's like a cat. It bites you, it hisses at you, but it's still a cat that likes to sit down and curl up on a ball and be nice. The heart, we're all imperfect people. Like I said, cast the first stone that has not sinned. Okay, Remy understands. Name calling is wrong, alright? And maybe I just still don't know the context of the situation. But also, if name calling is wrong, you don't fight name calling with name calling. But I understand, I don't know the context of the situation. I have Timu logic. Yeah, thank you, Remy. I'm a ladies' man. An alien ladies' man. Kadeta, you understand, and you are a tough lady too, and you do you. It's okay. The fight between y'all are very interesting. It's very entertaining. It's kind of like Woody. Like Woody. Woody would be able to settle this down. Woody, Kadeta, Woody would not tolerate it either. Okay, he probably would do the same thing you did. All right, Latina. But as I said, Kadeta and them, they could be in chat, but things could get out of hand sometimes. And sometimes people might need to sit in the, and like by the wall for a moment and get back in. Yeah, Amanda's thick-skinned. Yeah. Yeah, so that's James Cameron's submersible. You see, it looks different. This is Stockton Rush's submersible. Scared. Thanks, Latina. All right, this is one of Stockton Rush's things that one has not imploded yet, but it's just sitting there, and like nobody's using that one right now. This is his Temu submersible. $121 views. Wow. Scared. All right. Yes, it feels spicy. His spicy is scared. All right, and this is the Titan submersible that he used, and he used parts from Home Depot. He had a gaming controller, and his thing imploded. But you see, James Cameron didn't use that, and the fiber hull did not work. James Cameron wondered if they got it fixed, but no, he never got it fixed. It still didn't work. He was questionable about that stuff. He didn't think it would work. Yeah, so you have that. Yeah, Timu's scared. All right, and that's him with this little smart arse smirk on his face, and he's in his little submersible. Yeah, and it completely. We're back. Okay. Okay, we're back. My internet went out. That's what happened. Yeah, Joyce is okay. All right, I'm not too sure who can see me or who can't see me. Yeah, yeah. As I said, with. All right, I don't know if the internet. Okay, you can see me. You can see me. All right, so basically, I want to say is that the internet went out, and Joyce is fine. I'm not against Joyce. Latina, she may have felt she had to uh, censor or time her out. I'm not against Joyce at all. Of like I didn't do that. I didn't do that. All right, Boudreaux. All right, so basically what happened? Yeah, Joyce, I didn't do that. Latina, for some reason, thought you may have been doing a trolling or something, but no, I didn't do that to you. No, you're fine. And also, basically, yeah, because Latina, she just feels like she doesn't want the chat to get too out of hand. Yeah. All right. How do I like Bruce Rivers? I don't. I don't. I'm not, I don't know. I don't have like an opinion about that right now. I'm not. I don't quite recall. I have to go and look that up. All right, Joyce. I didn't do anything. Yeah, we have to have order in the chat. Joyce, you didn't do anything wrong that I know of, but Latina felt that you may have been of trolling. I said I don't know. You didn't do anything that I saw, but anyway, I was gonna be ending the stream and also basically ignore it. Okay, Joyce. Okay, thank you, thank you. All right, all right, 49ers, relax. All right, relax. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna be ending the stream because I finished the show. It's getting kind of late, so I want to thank you all for coming here and have a great weekend. All right. All right. So I'll be ending the stream. I'm ending the stream. Okay. And basically, we've done enough. And I talked about Stockton Rush and James Cameron and stuff, and it's getting kind of late, and I need to go at the moment. Okay. So peace out, everybody. All right. So we're going here. All right. And peace. See if it's gonna work. I don't know. It might not be detecting me because it's dark. All right.